Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We deploy our investigators to preserve evidence. We have the courtroom experience to show the insurance companies that we mean business. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt. Contact us at besmartlegal.com.
We are uniting Park National's family of banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community. I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
One-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. Ohio Eye's expertise encompasses the entire range of visual eye diseases with emphasis on LASIK, cataract surgery with laser vision correction, glaucoma, macular degeneration, corneal transplant, and diabetic eye disease. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
High school football on a Friday night in mid-October, and it is playoff style here, a little bit early thanks to Mr. COVID, but we are bringing you some high school football. Brandon Wells and Bob Miller up here in the booth on a lovely Friday night. A little chilly out there for both teams. Bob, the Arrows and the Tigers, you heard Coach Cedar talk about some of the keys for the Arrows. Turnovers, they've been able to create a turnover defensively in each game so far, field position, and then limit the big play.
And I think coming into the ball game tonight, defense for both sides absolutely jumps out at you. In the first 5 weeks, Ashland is limiting the opponents to 9 points per game, and then came the West Holmes game. And hopefully, when he said we're a little salty, the defense returns, right? On the senior high side, 4 out of the last 5 weeks limited opponents to 7 points a game. The only little blip in that was 40 points surrendered to the Worcester Generals.
Well, Ashland and Worcester, did not square off so far this year. They could square off later on down the line, depending on how everything shakes out. Meanwhile, the Arrows and the Tigers tonight, the winner of this game would play the winner of Norwalk and Copley from Summit County, which both teams potentially some strengths on those side. And, Copley's undefeated, really good squad, but they still have to focus on tonight. The Arrows come in tonight on the offensive side. They will start with the ball as Mansfield won the toss and deferred, so the Arrows will bring out that big senior-laden offensive line with Jake Beaver at left tackle, Sean Henna at left guard, Chase Blessing up the middle at the center spot, and then Jalen Colbert at right guard, and then big Christian Garish. And boy, that offensive line, we talk about it every week, Bob, but that offensive line has really done a great job this year.
They have, and the ability to shuttle in some other guys against West Holmes in the second half when Hartley went down. We see what kind of supplemental running game do we have if Hartley's not able to go 100%. I mean, coaches are going to say, Ethan's going to be out there, he's going to go, but I mean, until game conditions actually are present, we don't know exactly how close to 100% Ethan Hartley's going to be.
Back on the turf, the artificial turf, a brand new surface this year here at Community Stadium, and 2 weeks ago at West Holmes, the first time the Arrows had played on grass all year. We talked a little bit about that. That's not to make an excuse, but that is a difference, and now you're back on this artificial turf. It's very different.
And it's highly likely that may be the only time that they play on natural grass, because as long as they keep winning, they stay home until they would potentially face number 1 seed Tiffin, unless Tiffin was to stumble. When they get to that final, that regional final, that'll be a neutral site game. But Ashland's got some more Friday nights here at Community Stadium.
Well, we hope so. The Arrows come in 5-1. At least if you're from Ashland, you hope so. And those of the fans out there listening, maybe on WMAN or whatnot, pulling for the Tigers, And so either way, we come out of tonight with a regional winner.
With the broad scope of tonight's broadcast, we're on WNCO AM, we're on WMAN, we are on OH Reports. Adam Thompson, Kurt Pinkley, right next to us as our producers tonight. So there's a lot of fans from from both teams in the house tonight listening in.
The Arrows 5-1, 4-1 in the conference, coached by Sean Cedar in his second season. Last year 4-6 here in his first year officially this year as the head coach, as he took over last year. They'll bring out Declan Rohr, the senior quarterback, and boy, he has really looked good. One of the things we've talked about all year is to try to avoid the slow start and to get him going early. And what do you look for tonight with Rohr against this Mansfield defense?
Well, I really go back to what Coach Cedar said in the pregame interview, where he said we kind of looked at that second half and then we trashed it. And I think that's exactly what you should do, because Declan Rohr was making progress each and every week. He was elevating his game. He comes in tonight just under 1,300 yards as a passer, 14 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. We need to see more of that progression from Declan tonight if the Ashland Arrows are going to move on to week number 9.
Well, rounding out that starting lineup on the offensive side for the Arrows, Johnny Metzger and Landon McFrederick's going to step in, we think, for Tommy Carpenter tonight. And, of course, the aforementioned Ethan Hartley, who had a big game against Senior in week 4, 24 carries, 141 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. And we'll also see a lot of Jaden Jones, who has been Rohr's best receiver, or I should say his most consistent receiver. And then, they'll sort of mix in Chase Dillow and Colton Johnson as well on the offensive side. Landon McFrederick's been a good target this year as well, Bob.
Absolutely. Looking at that receiving core, and it's a long list of receivers on the Ashland side of the ball. They're going to miss Tommy Carpenter tonight. He's injured. He will not play. His 12 catches, 335 yards, and 3 touchdowns will be missing from the Ashland offense tonight. This injury report brought to you by University Hospital Samaritan Medical Center. Proud to welcome Dr. Michael Fisher to UH Samaritan Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Patients of all ages and levels of care with orthopedic and sports health needs can call Dr. Fisher at 419-207-BONE. You can learn more at uhsamaritan.org.
Mansfield Senior comes in 3-4, 2-3 in the OCC. Winners of their last two. Last week, a close one against Sylvania and a 7-3 win. Choky Bradley back at the helm. That defensive line has some power. Makai Bradley, Leo Hess, Maj Robertson, and Ricky Mills decent on that front line against the Arrows O-line.
I'm interested to see what kind of pressure that each defense can get on the opposing quarterback, because Declan Rohr, he's going to be able to stand in as a senior and have poise. But on the other side, if Ashland can put pressure on the new freshman, yes, I said freshman quarterback for Mansfield Senior, Duke Reese, that will definitely have an outcome in the ballgame. Pressure on the quarterback. He's a new guy. He's in his second week, so the jitters are over. But is he ready for Friday Night Lights?
Getting ready to kick it away here are the Tigers. Ready to boot it away deep is Trey Boyd, and the Arrows with 3 up men, and then also looking for a potential onside kick. You never know. The Arrows going right to left here on your radio dial, and the orange jerseys in black. It's a short kick, a little pooch, and it may be recovered by Senior. It is, and they're going to. I don't think you can advance it on that one, but it is recovered on the onside kick, the pooch kick, and it starts all Tigers, and they have great field position at the 37-yard line. It looked like Coach Cedar and company expected it, but still couldn't quite get to it.
How about that for all in from Choky Bradley? In his 11th year, he's been here, done that. He had a little trickery up his sleeve to open this one.
Sean Putt, the sophomore kicker.
Wow.
Comes up with a good one, and just like that, the Arrows lose a possession right off the top, so they'll start on the defensive side, and we'll see the freshman quarterback, Duke Reese, 10 of 33 this year for just 84 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
I'll tap my buddy Heath Garrison. Is that a turnover or not? I say no, Heath.
I don't think technically it is. DeCarian Mitchell is in the backfield to the right of Reese, 82 yards on the ground last week, the junior. 5'11", 190 pounds. Tigers split 2 wide to the near side, man in motion, and it's a pitch. Here comes. There's a flag in the backfield. Might have been moving forward at the time of the snap, and he's going to get inside the 30, down near the 27 and near the first down marker, but I think this one's coming back. Amar Davis was the ball carrier, 5'10", freshman who has had a pretty good season here, particularly as a freshman, Bob.
Moving towards the line of scrimmage, Amar Davis had good yardage on first down. Would have been a real productive first down carry for him, but it's not going to stick.
So it's coming back.
They'll pick it up. They'll pick the flag
they're
up.
waving it off. I take that back. So bad news for the Arrows, good news for the Tigers, and it is going to be, are they moving the chains or not? I don't think so. It's going to be second down and short at the 28. And Duke Reese in the backfield with Mitchell. Tigers shuffling a few in and out. Duke Reese back there. Man to his left, Mitchell again. The Arrows in that 3-2-6 rather. Not much pressure. It's a little bubble screen out on the left of Mitchell, and we've got a whistle before the snap, I believe. And we'll see what it is. There is a flag down, and it looks like it's going to be offensive, on the offense rather. It's coming backward 5 yards, so a big penalty there. And games like this that you expect to be tight, penalties are going to be important.
Take a look at the officials tonight. The referee is Greg Bartimus. The umpire tonight is Tom Ritzler. Line judge is Joe Roth. The linesman is Ryan Bowers. And the back judge is Dave Winery.
Reese in the shotgun. Mitchell to his left, trips far left. Single receiver to the near side is Avian Gross, the junior wideout who committed to Pitt here in the last week or so. Now Mitchell shifts over from left to the near side. They're at the near hash. And it's a draw. Mitchell gets it around the left end, and he's inside the 30. And he's brought down by the Arrows' Caden Schmitz.
Looked like there might be a little bit more, a little counter action going from the right back to the left, over left guard. And Hull closed down pretty quick on Mitchell.
Arrows' defense has been pretty stingy most of the year, except for last time out against West Holmes in the shotgun. And we got a lot of movement there and no flags. Now they're whistling it dead. So I think the whole offensive line there for Mansfield Senior was a little off on the snap count.
Yeah, they didn't let that one get going. That was fairly obvious. That's another 5 yards that the Tigers are going to move backwards. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Well, special teams in this kind of game are going to play a role, and we may see, punters and field goal kickers play a role tonight.
We roll the story out about this freshman quarterback. He is a big guy, 6 foot, 238 pounds, and he's a freshman. I'm talking to Keith Vipperman before the ball game. He's an Ashland basketball coach. He said 238 freshman. He's only 2 pounds lighter than me.
In the shotgun, drops back that left-handed Reese, rolls left. He's going to try to scramble. Now he tucks it. No, he throws it downfield near the first down marker.
They're going to give it to him?
We'll see whether or not it's a catch. He was really close to the line of scrimmage as well, but they're saying, I believe it is a completion, and they're moving the chains.
That's Miles Bradley over there with a real
and Miles
nice
Bradley is hobbling
dance.
a little bit as he's going back out to that wide-out spot near the 25-yard line. Bradley looks like he might have gotten a little dinged up. So a nice throw there from the freshman Duke Reese, who's coming in just throwing it at a 33% clip so far. Bradley will split again wide left. Mitchell in the backfield with Reese. The Arrows, 3 down linemen. Garish, Beaver, and Schuster. Right up the middle, Mitchell, and he's going to have a nice gain on 1st down. And so far, the senior offense rolling off the momentum of the onside or the pooch kick. I'm not sure what you want to call it, the short kick that they recovered.
Yeah, that gamble to begin the ball game is really paying off for Choky Bradley.
And now some hurry up, at least getting to the line of scrimmage in a hurry is Duke Reese in this Tigers offense. 2nd down and short. 2nd and 3 at the 19 of the Arrows. Trips to the near side, single receiver to the far side. I believe Bradley might have checked out of the ball game and on the sideline. So Mitchell in the backfield with Reese. Hands it off to Mitchell around that left side. He's almost tripped up, but I think he's got the 1st down. Depends on the spot. He might be just a little bit short, actually, at the 18-yard line. And Braylon Hyder in on the tackle.
It's going to bring up 3rd down. He will be short. But the ground game so far looks good.
Garish checks out of that line. And he got dinged up in that West Holmes game. Got to keep that tackle fresh and healthy for the offensive side of things. And the ball's loose on the snap by Reese, but he's going to get pushed forward near the 1st down marker. So the ball got onto the turf right away, but a lucky bounce for the Tigers as they're able to advance and move the chains. 1st down.
Yeah, that was 1st down ugly style, right?
That really was, but it doesn't matter as long as you move the chains.
Fresh set of downs off the bobbled snap, and his teammates push Duke Reese forward past the line to gain. This is the 2nd 1st down on the drive for the Tigers.
1st and 10, 8.5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Just underway here at Community Stadium. Reese in the shotgun, calling for it, hands it off to Mitchell. Mitchell rumbles forward inside the 10, and boy, he gets a nice gain there on 1st down as well. Mitchell really showing what he can do so far here tonight.
He's getting into 2nd level real quick, so a nice push by the offensive line, creating some seams for him. That is the 4th carry on the drive for Dak Mitchell. He's got 19 yards on this possession.
Isaiah Davis and Aaron Wade moving that defensive line of the Arrows from the offensive side. 3 receivers to the near, single to the far side. Mitchell lining up to the right of Reese. Back to pass the left. He looks. He's pressured by Schuster. Now he rolls out to the near side. Going to throw across his body, and it's tipped and incomplete inside the 10. Good pressure there coming from the Arrows. Colin Rohr came in.
One thing that you would anticipate with a freshman quarterback is that he's not going to be confident in the pocket for long. It's not going to take much to flush him out and get him on the run, and you have to think the accuracy goes down. He throws that one incomplete. He's 1 out of 2 so far for 8 yards.
Big 3rd down coming. 3rd and 4 at the 9-yard line. Play clock is at 12. Community Stadium holding their breath here, trying to keep the Tigers out of the end zone early on. In the shotgun's Reese. Reese with Mitchell to his right. He hands it to Mitchell, rumbles right up the middle, and he is hit immediately and brought down. So the Arrows on 3rd down hold. So far this year, the Tigers had been only converting at a 28% rate on 3rd down, and they don't do it there.
He was stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Didn't gain an inch.
Might have lost a yard. 4th down and 5, and they're going for it. We're not surprised at this call early on. Well, now I change what I have to I just have to change that. So they had the offense ready to roll, and now here comes the kicking team.
Play clock is now at 10. Look for Senior High to take a timeout if this takes much longer.
Sean Putt 1 for 1 this year from field goal on the field goals, 23-yarder. This one is down and kicked away. It is hard to tell. It's no good. It's short. Just comes up short. No good. And the Arrows really dodge a bullet right there, Bob.
That drive looked good for Senior High. There's a lot to have, some confident thoughts about. Looking at the running, particularly of Dak Mitchell. He looked good. The offensive line looked good. They stall when Ashland's defense really begins to strengthen in the shadow of their own goal line. And they give it up on the missed 23-yard field goal. So now let's see what Declan Rohr, and the thing that I'm interested to see is Ethan Hartley and that left ankle.
How will Ethan Hartley hold up here tonight in his first action in a couple weeks? Got hurt in that West Holmes game. 3 receivers to the near side. Press man-to-man coverage is what you'll expect. Blitz showed. They're coming. And a flag thrown, and we've got a stoppage of play. They might have had a free shot. We'll see. It might be we're going to see a false start on the Arrows offensive line. Tigers showed blitz, Bob, and then the Arrows jumped, or I should say moved.
Pushing back 5, start them 1st and 15 now. On their own 15.
Not great, Bob. Not an ideal situation here for the Arrows on their first offensive set. 3 receivers to the near. We expect to see a lot of man-to-man coverage from the Tigers. They're showing blitz on both sides, outside. And Rohr in the shotgun. Looks to be maybe audibling into a different call. Empty backfield, trips to the near side, 2 receivers far side. Now man in motion is Hartley. Looks out in the flat, caught at the 17 to the 20, and immediately brought down back just past the original line of scrimmage, maybe the 21.
I think that was Johnny Metzger over there.
On that far side, yep, I think. Second down and 9 for the Arrows. 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score here at Community Stadium. And the shotgun Rohr, man in motion is Jones. Looks to Jones on the near side, caught at the 20. He makes one man. No, he does not. He gets tripped up. Wow, so a nice play at the defensive side there by Avian Gross, who tripped up Jones, or else Jones had a lot of running room out in front.
Hit him right in stride, swinging out of the backfield. Had big play written all over it. Nice open field tackle by the Tigers.
3rd down and 5. Arrows move quickly to the line of scrimmage. Trips right, 2 to the near. Hartley in motion comes into the backfield. Now the Arrows hold up and look to the near sideline to get the play call. Everybody checks their wrist bracelets. Guess it's not a bracelet. They're whatever you want to call it. Their play package on the wrist. Back to pass. Rohr looking downfield. He's got all day to throw. Got a man. Tipped off of McFrederick's hands near midfield and incomplete. Can't come up with it. A little bit underthrown there. He threw it a little bit late. Good coverage downfield by Donovan Duncan.
Bit of a crowd out there in the secondary for the Tigers at about the 45-yard line. Falls harmlessly incomplete.
Isaac Roop will come on to punt it away for the Arrows, standing around his own 10-yard line, and the Tigers with 2 men deep.
This Tiger defense in the Sylvania Southview game, those 2 teams combined punted it 13 times a week ago.
Miles Bradley is deep back there. Good snap, and the punt is away, and it's not bad. It's going to get inside Tigers territory. Takes a good Arrows bounce inside the 35, down near the 30, inside the 30-yard line. So a nice punt there by Mr. Roop. 45-yarder right there, and he's had some ups and downs this year punting the ball, so that's good to see for the Arrows.
Good to see for his confidence in a spot where he needed to flip the field a little bit. Field position was one of the things that Coach Cedar talked about in the pregame interview as an important factor tonight, along with turnovers and limiting the explosive plays. So field position right there. Isaac Roop, job well done.
5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Brandon Wells and Bob Miller bringing you all the action here tonight from Community Stadium. The Arrows and Tigers in an OHSAA playoff game in Week 8. You heard that correct. Here comes quarterback Duke Reese. Brock Hill is out tonight. Back to back, and he's going to tuck it and run, actually. I think that's Verdon back there. Hard to tell. I'm trying to look to that far side to see if that was Gross. I think it might have been Gross on the carry, and he is brought down immediately.
It was Avion Gross and the Wildcat.
So Avion Gross back there, and we saw some of this the first time these two teams played. It was Nakari Verdon who had a touchdown against the Arrows. And that shotgun again. Here comes Gross in the Wildcat. Back past the 30, and he's upended at the 32-yard line. Nice job there by the Arrows defensively to come in. And Chase Dillo in on the tackle there. First man on the scene.
Avion Gross, the junior, verbal commit to the University of Pittsburgh within the last couple of weeks.
3rd down and 6. Bob, and Duke Reese comes back in, so we'll have to keep an eye on see who is in that backfield at quarterback or Wildcat or Wild Tiger or whatever you want to call it. I guess a Tiger's a big cat. We can call it the Wildcat.
Call it the Wildcat, Wild Tiger. It works.
Oh, boy. In the shotgun, back to pass. Reese looking downfield. He throws it up for grabs for Avion Gross. Good coverage by McFrederick. Incomplete at the 30-yard line.
In pregame, we were keeping an eye on Duke Reese, and I made the comment that lefty can really throw the deep ball with some pretty decent accuracy, at least in pregame. And it was always back shoulder stuff that he was throwing. He tried to hook up with Gross that time, but he overshot it.
And it was down that right sideline, too, so he's throwing back across his body a little bit, and he looked good in the pregame. You're right. Now here comes Miles Bradley out there to punt it away. So Bradley standing near his own 20-yard line. The Arrows force a 4th down and 6. And, of course, you never know with Chokey Bradley after what we saw in the opening play of the ball game. Snap is good, and the punt is kicked away. It is short, and it's out near the Arrows' 40-yard line, and it is down at the 39. Might have went a few more yards, but the Tigers might have touched that a little too quick. Carmelo Smith, the freshman defensive back.
First quarter scores from around the area. Lexington has jumped out on top of Clear Fork, 7-0. And first quarter score, Toronto and East Knox. Number 15 seed Toronto, number 2 seed East Knox. They are still scoreless in their ball game in the first quarter.
Still scoreless here at Community Stadium, and 3:58 to go in the first quarter. Arrows and Tigers squaring off. And a big regional playoff matchup. Declan Rohr in the shotgun. Man to his right, Hartley. Jaden Jones in motion going left to right. The Arrows at their own 39-yard line. Looking over on the right side. Jones caught at the 45, makes one man miss, and moves right near midfield before he's brought down. That'll move the chains. Nice pickup there of 11 yards. Rohr to Jones. What a sure-handed receiver Jones has been all year for Declan Rohr.
Second catch of the night for Jaden, and 30th catch on the year.
Arrows set up quickly again. 3 receivers near and 2 to the far. Rohr all by himself as he often starts out. And now Hartley comes in motion. Back to pass. Hartley's over on his right. Pressure coming. He throws it off to Jones, incomplete. And probably a wise decision to just get rid of it. And it's clear that Mansfield Senior is going to bring as much pressure as they can on Rohr. And you saw it right there. Forced him to get rid of that ball before he wanted to.
And so far they haven't thrown Ethan Hartley into the mix in the offensive play selection. Everything they've done to this point has been through the air. 5 plays, 5 pass attempts.
Rohr and Jones in the backfield. 2nd down and 10, 3:35 to go here in the first quarter. 2 receivers far, single to the near, and boy, is that some press coverage on the near side. Rohr throws it out on the right side to Hartley, caught near midfield, and he's upended around the 47-yard lines. And we'll see how Hartley recovers from his first real ball carrying there, and you never know after you've been off a couple weeks. You got dinged and you come back out, but he's able to hold on. 3rd down, 7 coming up.
First catch of the night for Ethan. Good to see him in contact and pop right back up, back to the huddle. Looks good.
Rohr in the shotgun, standing at his own 49. Man in motion, Hartley comes back to him, and now once again the Arrows look to the sideline. 3 receivers near and 1 to the far. Playing without Tommy Carpenter tonight, who broke the collarbone in the last regular season game. Rohr calls for Hartley. Play action. Blitz coming. He gets rid of it just barely, and he is hammered. Incomplete over midfield. There it is. That blitz again causing pressure off the outside. There was 2 men coming from both sides, and the blitz pickup had to pick one of them, and he picked one, but the other guy was right there.
Blitzing off the edge, blitzing right up the middle in your face. And right up the middle in your face, got all over Declan and caused that pass to fall incomplete.
Arrows will clearly have to make some adjustments offensively to figure out how to deal with that. Meanwhile, Roop comes in to punt it away, standing at his own 40. Bradley is deep, along with Avian Gross, around their own 10-yard line. 4th and 6, under 3 minutes to go, and the Arrows punting it away. No score here at Community Stadium. Roop gets it high and spiraling down the right sideline. Inside the 20, takes a nice bounce. Can the Arrows down it? It looks like they're going to pin the Tigers deep at the 2-yard line. Tremendous punt, 44 yards. His first one was 45, but this one was better, even though it was a yard shorter.
How about Isaac Roop? 2 punts, and that's been the most effective offensive weapon that the Ashland Arrows have had here in the first quarter. 2 spectacular punts by Isaac Roop.
Well, Bill Belichick would be proud. Field position, very important.
Absolutely.
Bill Belichick once punted on 3rd down when he was the Cleveland Browns coach. I don't know if you knew that. That didn't go over well.
That's some barroom trivia. Adam, did you know that? Bill Belichick punted on 3rd down? Kurt Pinkley knew it.
Did not go over well. Jason Miller knew that, I'm sure. 2:37 to go here in the first quarter, and the Tigers backed up near their own end zone. 1st and 10. Arrows defensively now in a little better spot than they were the first drive by the Tigers.
Talked about protecting the football. Now's the Ashland defense opportunity to create a score.
They got a full house backfield there, and it's a give to the deep man. I think it's Dak Mitchell. Nope, I take that back, but a nice run on 1st down right up the middle in that left side. Couldn't tell if that was Gross or Robertson. But either way, a nice gain on 1st down. Brings up 2nd down and 3. 2 minutes and change to go here in the first quarter. 3 men in the backfield, and Reese under center. Going to give it into the backfield, and another run right up the middle. We'll see whether or not they got the 1st down. I think they're a little short. Well, it's number 4 carrying it. But the number 4 we had previously was Brock Hill, who was not eligible to play tonight. He was their previous quarterback, so we'll have to get a number on that one. The Arrows now 3rd down and 1. Big play defensively for the Arrows, and another give right up the middle. And I think he's going to pick up the 1st down. The Tigers still rumbling and bumbling out near the 15, and finally brought down. First down and 10, a minute and a half to go. So they switched jerseys. We just got word. That's actually, I believe, Maj Robertson, who came in and switched to number 4. Well, that's helpful. We're only a few plays in. That's good. Good to know, right, Mr. Miller?
From a stat perspective, I'm a happy guy now. I knew it wasn't Brock Hill.
But Maj Robertson, I was going to say, wow, 6 foot, 255 yards. That's a big man. And back to pass, Reese rolling left on 1st down, throws it downfield, got a man open. Oh my, it's Bradley near the 40, and he's pushed out of bounds just short of midfield. A big pickup there on 2nd down, and it looks like they are out near midfield, and the Tigers with a nice roll out to the left, and Duke Reese with a really pinpoint throw downfield off that back leg, showing off the left arm strength, and he's knocked out of bounds downfield by Trey Boyd. So
1st down, number 3 for the Tigers. That's the 2nd catch for Miles Bradley, and that's a big one. 29 yards and a 1st down out near midfield.
1:08 to go here in the first quarter. Reese back to pass, throws it out of the near side. That ball might be free. Dak Mitchell had it off his hands, and he's wrapped up. Ball still loose, but I think it went out of bounds before the Arrows recovered. We'll see. It's near the 40. They're giving it to the Arrows at the 41-yard line. It was a backward pass from Reese to Mitchell in the backfield. Mitchell didn't know it was a backward pass, let the ball kind of go. The Arrows right on top of it, come up with the loose ball. We'll take a look and see who that was. Wow, great job there by the Arrows defense. Might have been Caden Schmitz was the first in there on the tackle. Hard to see who recovered. Colin Rohr in there. And the Arrows come up with a big turnover. Jaden Jones was the last man who came up with the loose ball, number 26.
Big mistake by Dak Mitchell not jumping on the ball. That's a lateral, and he should have known that's a live football. And he did not cover it, and creates the first turnover of the night.
Arrows have created a turnover defensively in each game this season, and there's a big one with a minute to go in the first quarter. Back to pass. Rohr looking downfield. He's got Hartley wide open to the 20. 10, 5, touchdown Arrows. So the Arrows strike first. They jump ahead with under a minute to go in the first quarter.
41 yards on the hookup from Declan Rohr to Ethan Hartley. Third receiving touchdown for Ethan Hartley, and the 15th touchdown throw by Declan Rohr.
Under a minute to go, 6-0 Arrows, and Roop will come on. Nope, it's not Roop coming in to kick the extra point here. Looks like Caden Spots coming in to kick it. So Spots coming in to kick the extra point. 51 seconds to go. Snaps good, holds good, kick is away, and it's good. 7-0 Arrows. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
A one-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Oh, sorry for a few technical issues there. 7-0 Arrows on top.
Let me get back to this this third down punt by Bill Belichick. Happened on October 23rd of 1994.
Short kick by the Arrows is recovered by the Tigers out near the 40, and a short return, but the Arrows look like they might have tried a little pooch there. So you looked this up.
I know you want more. It was against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Browns won that game 37-13.
And it was like 3rd down and 30 or something ridiculous. So he's like, well,
get the punt team out there.
Well, we're on to Cincinnati.
Thank you to Adam Thompson.
Thank you very much. 44 seconds to go in the first quarter. Arrows on top of the Tigers, 7-0. They really took advantage of the turnover, Bob.
Mistake made by the Tigers, and the Arrows made them pay, took possession of the football around their own 40-yard line, and a couple of plays later, 41-yard strike. Ethan Hartley out of the backfield wide open.
And we've seen that all year. Coach likes to go deep after a turnover or try to go for a big play, no doubt. Reese in there at the shotgun spot, the quarterback starting this week for the Tigers. Back to pass. He hands it off. Omar Davis is going to launch it downfield for Gross. Gross catches it inside the 30. Now there's a flag there, and there's a flag. It looks like it's going to be offensive pass interference. It's caught. Rohr is hurt. Gross came up with the catch and then got inside the 25, but there is a flag. I think he pushed Rohr down, and Rohr is hurt. We'll see what happens, whether or not they call it back. I think it's coming all the way back. So it was a double pass. They gave it to Davis, who looked downfield again. We've seen it, a little bit of that trickery from Mansfield Senior this year. And they're going to have to carry off Colin Rohr. Oh, boy, and he had missed 2 weeks ago as well.
Yeah, he's been struggling with some injuries, and
looks like that right leg, something going on there tonight. So offensive pass interference, 15 yards from the original spot. And we've got a bit of a break here on the field.
There's any one of the Tigers can throw a pass for a touchdown. Freshman Amar Davis became the 5th different Tiger to throw a pass this year when he hooked up against Sylvania Southview on the 59-yard pass to Bradley. Brock Hill, Duke Reese, Miles Bradley, and Nakari Virden are the other 4 that have thrown passes for the Tigers this year.
Reese in the shotgun, trips to the near side, press coverage on the outside, single back to his left. It's a give to Bradley. Nope, right up the middle. That's not Bradley. I take it back. Short run there for the Tigers before he's brought down. Looked like Jeremiah Rosario in there as number 7. So Rosario gets the carry. First time we've seen him carry it. 2nd down and 22. I'm sorry, Darnell Hawkins. I looked at the wrong roster. My apologies there, Ashland and Mansfield. You'd think I'd know everybody on both rosters by now. 5 seconds to go here, and that'll be it. End of the first quarter. It looks like Arrow's up 7-0. You are listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
.40 WMAN, and also on OH Reports, brought to you by Firelands Electric Cooperative in New London, your Touchstone Energy partner.
Arrows up 7-0 here as we get underway in the second quarter. Community Stadium and playoff action. Back to pass. Reese looking. He's flushed out of the pocket, pushed right. Beverly was in there on the pressure. Throws it incomplete at the 32-yard line, intended for Amar Davis. 3rd down and 22 coming up. First quarter, a really good one for the Arrows in the big picture there, Bob.
Particularly after they dodged the bullet on the initial possession by Mansfield Senior. If you weren't with us, they tried a pooch kick to start the ball game, and they recovered it, drove the football down to the 10-yard line, ended up having to settle for a field goal attempt that was no good, and they have been held scoreless.
Reese in the shotgun, 3rd down and 22. Back to pass, looks over the middle at the 35, caught by Davis, makes Hyder miss, and makes another man miss, and now brought down at the 37-yard line, well short of the first down. So the punting unit looking like they'll be coming out, I would imagine, right now on 4th down here for the Tigers. Trey Boyd in on the tackle for the Arrows, and here comes the punting unit. Metzger will be deep for the Arrows right now around his own 30. Sean Putt comes in, it looks like, to be punting this one away. Last punt was by Miles Bradley, and it was short. So 11:15 and change here, a little over 11 minutes, I should say, to go in the second quarter. Arrows about to get it back. Field position a major part of these games, and here comes the punt. It is short. And up comes Metzger. Will they have a chance to return it? I don't think so. It's going to roll inside the 35, down near the 33-yard line, where the Arrows will take over with decent field position. So that ball took a nice roll there for the Tigers and pushes the Arrows back a little bit. Field position is going to be a big part of this game tonight.
Kind of sensed that this might be a little bit of a tipping point in the ball game. Ashland with the football back after the quick strike for points. And Mansfield Senior defense going to have to stiffen here, because Ashland has a real opportunity here to exert themselves and maybe grab a little control of the ball game. One score is certainly not enough if you're an Ashland Arrow fan, but this is a critical drive for the Arrows.
Rohr with Hartley and Jones in the backfield, maybe trying to ward off that potential blitz we've seen so far. Now Hartley splits near side wide. The give is to Jones around the right end, and he is immediately hit and brought down at the 31. Loss of a yard, maybe 2. And this Mansfield Senior defense is here to play tonight, and they're bringing pressure on the run and on the pass.
And it's also telling me that Ethan Hartley is being used sparingly. Certainly you want to have him out there on the field, but he is normally a workhorse on the ground, and he is without a carry. He has a catch, but he is without a carry tonight.
Leo Hess in on the tackle for the Tigers. Now back there in the backfield again. Rohr had both Jones and Hartley. Now Jones in motion. Low snap. Good job by Rohr to handle it. Rolls out near side. Pressure coming. Throws it. Intercepted at the 40-yard line by Miles Bradley. And he's immediately brought down at the 38 by Jaden Jones. So there's a turnover. We've talked about how important that was. Field position, turnovers, and limiting the big play. Rohr, who was pressured, tried to get it downfield. Intended for Johnny Metzger and can't complete it.
I talked about flushing quarterbacks out of the pocket and that the freshman Duke Reese would potentially be a little bit less accurate. But that time they flushed Rohr out of the pocket, and he goes right to Miles Bradley, and Miles Bradley kind of playing center field back there. That is a nice play in the secondary for the Tigers, and now they've got short field advantage. Opportunity here to even the ball game up.
This is the most pressure we've seen on Roar from a defensive line or any defense all season.
We made the observation first time around that this senior high defense is for real, and they've only gotten better.
Back in the shotgun, Reese hands it off. Now run right up the middle as Mitchell picks up a couple yards on first down, brought down at the 35. So Dak Mitchell with a short gain, second down, and about 7. Schuster in on the tackle for the Arrows. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half.
Partial score, Lexington Clear Fork. Lexington now 16-0 over the Colts. That's a surprising score.
Oh my, Reese in the shotgun. Mitchell to his left, 3 receivers far. The Arrows almost jumped on the hard count. And now they're looking over to the sideline to Bradley and company for a call. Second down and 7. Clock running, 9:30 to go. 5 on the play clock. Reese looking, calls for the snap, finally gets it. He's looking out to the right. He's flushed out a little bit. Now he's got all day. He's looking downfield, He's going to throw it up downfield for Gross, caught at the 10 and pushed out of bounds. Make that Miles Bradley, the receiver, inside the 10, and a big pickup. That's one of the big plays the coach talked about trying to avoid. Nice throw by the freshman quarterback.
32 yards. 2 big plays now. One to Miles Bradley, and that was complete on the near sideline to Gross. The officials are talking about it. Let's see. We got a flag down. Hold everything.
Flag at the 25-yard line that came in late. We'll see. And judging by the body language, well, I'm not going to judge by the body language. We'll just see what happens here.
Everybody walking back to the original line of scrimmage. This one's not going to stand.
That's where I was going to go with, Bob.
Oh, preliminary signal against Ashland.
Well, now they are moving it. Yep, you're right. So 9:20 to go, and a big turn of events here on the interception. And the Arrows who capitalized on a Tigers turnover, and now, so there was a personal foul, I believe, on Triton Schuster back near the original line.
So the completion was to Avian Gross?
No, it was actually Miles Bradley.
It was to Bradley. Okay.
Yep, Bradley on the catch. And they declined the penalty because it's going to be first down and goal at the 6-yard line. Tigers going right to left here in the second quarter. Reese under shotgun. He's got a full house backfield, including Maj Robertson back there wearing number 4 tonight. And Robertson's going to get it, and he's immediately hit in the backfield and maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and goal. Nice job on that defensive line of the Arrows to come in right away, including Schuster and Garish.
Trying some different runners there in the Tiger backfield. 3rd carry of the night for Maj Robertson. He's got 4 yards as he is stacked up really for no gain there.
We thought we would see a little different offense tonight from the Tigers, and we really have so far.
Yeah, different quarterback and running back by committee so far tonight.
A little different look at that full house, 2 up backs, and then a single back behind him is Maj Robertson. He gives it to Robertson, who's going to run behind those guys again on the right side, and he has stood up at the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal coming up. So the Tigers missed a field goal earlier, which is also one of those things you talk about in a close game, in a playoff game that can really come back to haunt you. So if you're the coaching staff here, you're thinking 4-down territory potentially.
You take a look at time of possession so far. 24 plays run by the Tigers, 10 run by Ashland.
3rd down and goal. 8-minute mark approaching. Arrows up 7-0 here in the second quarter. Reese under center. Full house backfield, tight formation on both sides. It's a play action, rolls to the near side, looking into the end zone. He's got a man wide open, caught, touchdown, Miles Bradley, and with an extra point or a 2-point conversion pending. So nice play there by Duke Reese, who saw a man wide open in the back left corner of the end zone. And we've got a ball game here tonight, playoff football on a Friday night.
5-yard touchdown catch by Miles Bradley. That is touchdown catch number 3 on the year for Miles.
Duke Reese looking good here early on.
Yeah, he really is. He really is.
So Reese is going to be the holder here for the extra point. And here comes Sean Putt to try to tack on the extra point to tie it up. They already missed a field goal. Snap's good. Kick is away, and it is good. We'll take a break. 7-all here. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
one-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
iHeartRadio app.
7 apiece here at Community Stadium. Arrows and Tigers in a battle. Friday night football playoff style in mid-October. Short kick, squib kick, and the Arrows are going to grab it. Caden Schmitz grabs it at the 26, tucks it and runs. He's got some room, and he gets it out to the 41-yard line. Boy, and he is tripped up just like I was over my words, but good field position there for the Arrows as they'll start at the 41.
Field position's been pretty kind to Ashland tonight. Isaac Group has helped the situation with a couple of nice punts, but give Mansfield Senior an awful lot of credit. We talked just a few minutes ago, it seemed like, about a tipping point in the game when Ashland came out at about this spot on the field with a 7-0 lead, looking potentially to go up by 2 scores, only to see the Tigers come back and tie it up.
Colton Johnson in there with McFrederick and Metzger and Jones and Hartley as far as the skill positions. It's going to be a give to Hartley. His carries the ball right up the middle, and he's immediately met at the line of scrimmage. And so far, man, this defense by the Tigers is no joke.
In the second half against West Holmes, there was no running game when Hartley went down. There has been no running game tonight. Second rushing attempt was that handoff for no gain to Hartley. The only other running attempt tonight, a 2-yard loss by Jaden Jones.
Second down and 10, 7-minute mark approaching here in the first half. Tigers showing blitz again, press coverage on the outside. Hartley is next to Rohr in the shotgun. Jones in motion. They're looking left, looks right now. He throws it out for Jones, off the hands, incomplete at the 41. And Rohr a little errant on that one, looking for Jones. It was trying to set up a little screen, and they couldn't quite connect. Third down coming.
Ball game is kind of going the way we thought it would. I mean, we knew it was going to be a defensive football game, particularly the way that Ashland was dinged up. We really didn't buy into the fact that everybody's healthy, everybody's 100%. We knew there was going to be some issues there. Senior High, on the other hand, putting a new quarterback in there, and we've got a defensive ball game on our hands like we had a couple weeks ago.
Rohr in the shotgun, looking back to pass, gets the snap. They had a trips bunch. He's throwing it up deep. Hartley is wide open at the 30. Caught, 20, and he is wrapped up at the 15-yard line. How do you lose Ethan Hartley? First down and 10 at the 15 for the Arrows coming up.
47 yards as they lose complete track of Ethan Hartley.
They split Hartley wide out of the backfield, and nobody saw him.
Cover up number 13, and they didn't do it.
A big play for the Arrows puts it first down and 10. They'll mark it at the 13-yard line. Rohr in the shotgun. They had trips bunched to the right tight of the line, and that really threw off the Tigers defensively there. Rohr's going to have a keeper right up the middle. Makes a man miss, spins. He's got room. 5, cuts back. Touchdown. What a run by Declan Rohr. And the Arrows strike right back, 13-7. What a game here we got going tonight.
13-yard run by Declan Rohr. That's the 4th rushing touchdown of the year for Declan. And you talk about a quick strike capability. They just bring Ethan Hartley uncovered down the near sideline for 47 yards, and then a spectacular run by Declan Rohr, the senior quarterback, as he bobs and weaves in the 2nd level, into the 3rd level, and finally into the end zone.
First time we've seen that quarterback draw called tonight, and what a perfect time to call it by Coach. Snap's good, holds good, kick is up, and it's good. Arrows up 14-7. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
one-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Week 8 here in October, and the Arrows strike back quickly, 14-7. Arrows on top of Senior here with 6:46 to go in the first half.
Football Friday night, week number 8, playoff week number 2, right?
It's crazy. We've never seen anything like it, and the playoffs are always a little more intense and a little more pressure and bring out the best and sometimes the worst in teams, but right now both teams really playing well.
And our heads are going to explode if we try to figure out when they're going to play Worcester for the conference championship.
Don't even go there. Let's hope that it doesn't happen. I guess if you're an Arrows fan, you don't want it to even have to happen. You'd rather make a run in the playoffs, I guess.
Yes, you would.
Meanwhile, the Arrows getting ready to boot it away from their 40-yard line. Nice kick, little short, kicks around the 17, rolls all the way inside the 10. Amar Davis grabs it at the 5. He's in trouble. Now he is wrapped up at the 10-yard line by a handful of Arrows, including, I believe, J.R. Hosser was a Caden Spots down there, the kicker in on the tackle. Jaden Jones also in the area.
Second live football mistake we've seen tonight by the Tigers, and that's going to cost them field position.
Well, it'll be 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line with 6:39 to go in the first half. The Arrows with a little momentum after that one.
Turnovers in the ball game, even at 1. Mansfield Senior fumbled it away after a lateral pass was not covered up. And it was indeed a fumble. It was behind. It was a backwards pass, so it was a fumble. And then an interception thrown by Declan Rohr to Miles Bradley for the Tigers. We're evened up at 1 on turnovers.
So 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. It's going to be a keeper. We've got a little wildcat going again. It's Gross. Gross right up the middle, right behind a lead blocker. And he gets out to the 14, maybe a gain of 2. I'm not sure how much we will see this because Reese has played well, but they're mixing it up, and what an athlete you got in Avion Gross.
I'll put the football in the hands of the D1 player going to the University of Pittsburgh in a couple years. That's not a bad move.
2nd down and 8 at the 14. 2 receivers to the far side. It's a keeper as well around to the right edge. He's immediately brought down at the 10, a loss of yardage. Ball might be loose. We'll see. Well, I think they were able to hold on to the ball, but a loss back down to the 9-yard line. 3rd and long coming up for the Tigers, and the Arrows really sniffed that one out. Great job on that defensive side by the Arrows. I think Jake Beverly was in on that one as well.
Yeah, the Wildcat cost him 5 yards the wrong way that time.
So now Duke Reese comes back in, 3rd and 13, and it's definitely a passing down. You got trips to the near side, definitely a passing situation here. We'll see what the Arrows dial up. They've brought blitz in some of these situations this year, Bob.
Good place on the field to dial it up again.
And the shotgun is Reese.
Nope.
A little late on the snap. He's back to pass. There was a little bit of pressure. Throws it downfield. Incomplete. Looking for Gross at the 28-yard line and nothing doing. Good coverage on the outside by Landon McFrederick. It'll be 4th down and long. Coming up after that one, they're going to be punting from their own end zone.
Heels on the goal line or pretty close to it.
Beautiful night for football in mid-October. A little chilly. Of course, we're in the press box. It's not that cold here, thankfully. It's not like we were at Madison earlier this year.
And you had your coffee delivery. You're doing fine. You got a heater underneath blowing on your feet.
Dr. Rob Poole bringing me the coffee. The most highly educated coffee delivery boy in the history of mankind. Back to punt. Sean Putt boots it away. It is short. It hits around the 31-yard line. The Arrows are going to let it roll. Metzger lets it roll, and it takes a nice Tigers bounce right down to midfield. So a 41-yard punt for the Tigers, but the Arrows with good field position and 5:09 to go. Of course, they'd like to maybe chew up a little clock and score, but you might see Coach go for it deep here early.
A function prevailed over form on that punt, but nonetheless, 41 yards and back out to midfield. So job well done.
Arrows offensively, Bob, what do you expect to see here?
Arrows offensively, I think they're going to have to be committed to a passing night because running the football has not been effective.
I don't know that Hartley is fully healthy.
Absolutely
They haven't given
not.
him a lot of runs for sure, but he had a nice catch out of the backfield.
You got to get him out there, and he's been effective as a receiver tonight.
Now Hartley splits near side wide. There's 4 receivers to the near side. Roar back to pass. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He gets immediately stood up at the 50 and knocked down at the original line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Clock running. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first half at Community Stadium.
You got to figure when you have an ankle that you're trying to basically protect in Ethan Hartley's left ankle, you don't want him necessarily running between the tackles because a lot of guys, just piling on, bad things are going to happen. You take him out and get him in a receiver mode, and it's likely to not be nearly as much contact on him.
Yeah, a lot of times you step on a foot trying to go between the tackles, and that's when those ankles get busted up. In the shotgun, 2nd down and 10, clock running, 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Roar splits wide. It's a shotgun direct snap to Hartley, and Hartley cuts to the left side, and he runs into his own man at the 47-yard line. He's upended there at the 47-yard line, but a little different there. We saw the wild arrow.
As soon as we say they're protecting his ankle, what do? They wildcat him right up the middle.
3rd and 7 coming up for the Arrows. Field position game here important as you head towards the half. Senior will get it back to start the second half. The Arrows up 7. Clearly don't want to give the Tigers the ball back at all, let alone in good position. Roar in the shotgun. Hartley comes over in motion, and now the Arrows reset. 3 receivers to the near side are Jones, Metzger, and Johnson, and now they all come trips bunch right next to the line tight. Single receiver on the far side is McFrederick. Back to pass. Here comes Roar looking over the middle. He's got a man. Caught! Jaden Jones at the 38, 1st down, and then some inside the 30, and he's brought down finally at the 28-yard line. A big pickup there by the Arrows, 25 yards, and the Arrows are on the move. What a big 1st down pickup for the Arrows. They will keep moving the clock and potentially not give the ball back to the Tigers here in this half. They're quickly up to the line of scrimmage. They see something they like, and now we've got a whistle. And what do we got here? Well, officials resetting the ball, and now somebody dropped something. I think the official might have dropped his stopwatch or something, but we're rolling. 3:24 and counting. Arrows up 7. And this shotgun Roar. Hartley to his right. Back to pass. Short drop. No pressure all day. Looking downfield. Got McFrederick. What's the call in the end zone? Touchdown! McFrederick holds on as he goes out of the back of the end zone. 28 yards. Roar to McFrederick. The Arrows strike again.
4th touchdown catch of the year for Landon McFrederick. And he was right down the near hash. Made a great catch running out of room. Back the baseline of the end zone.
That was close whether or not he had control as he was going out of the end zone, but it's a touchdown.
We've got replay here tonight thanks to OH Report. We were looking at the reception, and he did a nice job to get feet down and
great job by our crew getting that one. Snap is away. Extra point is up, and it's good. The Arrows up 21-7. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
A one-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
One 7 after that touchdown pass, 28 yards from Declan Roar to Landon McFrederick, and boy, was it a tough throw into the back of the end zone.
We're looking at it right now on replay, and man, We're going to say that was a legit call by the officials. We thought we might have gotten away with one. It looked like he might have been juggling it, but now that we see it on replay, that was a solid catch by Landon McFrederick.
Somebody needs to tell us if McFrederick plays baseball, because he's got good hands out there. It looked like a shortstop or a center fielder potentially coming down with that one. The Arrows up 21-7, 3:13 to go in the first half. Kick is short, and it is high. Grabbed at the 33-yard line. Now coming around to the right side is Donovan Duncan, and he is brought down out near the 43-yard line. So a decent return and decent field position after the short kick, but they didn't want to kick it away to Gross, clearly, or Bradley.
Don't want to kick it deep, so you're going to kick it to kind of the second level. And here, Mansfield Senior really in a spot. 3 minutes to go, man. They need points. Going into the halftime locker room with all of the momentum on the Ashland Arrows side is not what Chokey Bradley wants to be about here in the last 3 minutes of the half.
This Tigers offense has struggled as a whole all season, and they have relied on their defense the last few weeks. 3:07 to go here in the first half. Both teams with all 3 timeouts here as we approach halftime. Back to pass is Duke Reese. He's got time. He's flushed out of the pocket going right. Garish pushing him downfield, and now he throws it downfield incomplete at the 43-yard line. Nice pressure there by Christian Garish, forcing Reese to throw that ball almost away.
The one thing that we know about Reese tonight is he's looking for Miles Bradley. He's locked on Miles. Miles has all of the receptions tonight, and if Miles isn't there, can he check off to the second receiver? Incomplete there, brings up second down.
Dak Mitchell in there and the backfield with Reese. Grossless split far wide to the right. The Arrows in that 3-down lineman. 2 linebackers are up near the line of scrimmage. Trips to the near side. It's going to be a give to Mitchell. Mitchell around the right end, and he is stood up at the 44, maybe the 45-yard line. Great job by the Ashland defense there. Jacob Beverly in on the tackle with 2:45 to go in the first half. 3rd down and long coming up.
I'd say the Ashland defense is a little salty tonight, wouldn't you?
A little bit. They did not play well in that second half 2 weeks ago, but they still have a lot of football to go here tonight. They got to bring it for a full 4 quarters. Trips left, single receiver far side. 1 man in the backfield. Reese in the shotgun, back to pass, looking downfield deep down the right sideline, looking for Gross down that right sideline, incomplete inside the 20. So they were just going to throw it up there and hope Gross could go and get it and high point it, but just a little bit too far. Reese a little inconsistent.
And Reese he's got an arm now. I mean, he can fling it. And I think that time he just knew I can get it down the field about 45 yards, and we'll just see if my guy can go make a play on the football.
4th down and 8 coming up. They're going to punt it away.
Lexington 24-0 over Clear Fork.
Are you serious?
That's a shocking
that's
score.
Swapped? Oh, my goodness.
Shocking score.
Well, back to punt is putt, and it is short. Oh, my. Not going to be a return, and it is a really short punt near the 36 to the 37-yard line. So about an 18-yard punt there, and the Arrows will now have the football with 2:05 to go, all 3 timeouts, and in good field position with a chance to put more points on the board.
Absolute dagger if they put more points up here. I'd almost go so far as to say game over.
Oh, my.
I don't.
You heard it right there, Bob Miller, calling the game if the Arrows score.
I'm just saying.
You can send your reports to iHeartRadio. What's the address down there? 2:05 to go, 21-7. Arrows on top. We'll see what Coach Cedar does here. He often comes up with something tremendous out of these sort of turnovers or change of downs or whatever you want to call it.
And they're playing offense with one hand tied behind their back. They've got no running game tonight.
Not so far. 1st and 10 at their own 37. 2:05 to go. Hartley in motion now comes into the backfield. Rohr going to throw it over the middle to Jones. Caught at the 43, and he is really literally upended at the 25. A nice tackle there by Amar Davis. 2nd down and short. The Arrows quickly back up to the line, but not too quickly. Clock running 1:45 to go here in the first half. The Arrows definitely want to run the clock down as well.
That is catch number 4 for Jaden Jones. 45 yards receiving tonight.
Johnson near side with Metzger. 2 receivers on each side. Man in motion is Jones. Rohr with 1.5 minutes to go. Going to give it to Hartley. Hartley busts through the middle. Nice blocking there and a 1st down. Arrows right at midfield. Gain of 4. Nice burst there by Hartley. First time we've seen that quick burst out of the backfield there from Hartley.
Toronto 6, East Knox nothing. They are at the half.
Wow. Another low-scoring affair there. Meanwhile, here the Arrows up 21-7 as we approach half. Back to pass, Rohr. Play action, looking downfield. He's got a man, and he overshoots Mesker at the inside hash there at the 25-yard line. A better throw there, and that's a touchdown. I think Rohr got a little excited, saw Mesker going right down the slot, and just overshot him.
Yeah, Johnny was in the seam, and he had gotten deeper than the deepest secondary man, and it was just a hot throw by Declan Rohr. Little bit more air underneath, and he split that seam, and he was in the end zone.
Well, second down and 10 at midfield. The Arrows now taking their time, getting a little breath after a little bit of a hurry-up. 1:10 to go, up 14. Tigers showed blitz there initially. Rohr in the shotgun, 2 receivers on each side. He's going to play action to Hartley, looking downfield on the left side. He's got a man, and he overshoots McFrederick, I believe, at the 25-yard line. So third down and 10 with 1:06 to go here, Bob. Now you got a decision on third down. Do you run it? Do you pass it? I think you probably go for the pass.
Yeah, I mean that's their MO tonight. That they're going to say, Declan, we're going to put the game on your shoulder, and we're going to go as far as you can take us throwing the football tonight.
Whistle here with 1:06, and I think we have an officials timeout. They're swapping in the football. Clock's dead as it is right now on the incomplete. 1:06 to go in the first half. The Arrows with an interesting situation here. Third down and 10, 14-point lead as we approach the half, right at midfield. Jaden Jones in motion, going from left to right. Rolling right to the near side out of the shotgun is Rohr. He's looking downfield. He's in trouble and wrapped up and sacked at the 40-yard line. A big loss of 10, and that'll probably be a timeout here, and it is a timeout by Mansfield Senior. We'll take a quick one as well. Here you're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio. (21-7), Arrows on top. Under a minute to go here in the first half at Community Stadium. The Arrows and the Tigers in a big Friday night football playoff matchup here in Week 8. The Arrows punting it away, 4th and 20 from their own 40. And a dangerous situation here for the Arrows. The punt is away. It is a quick one, end over end, and we'll see. Is there going to be a return? No. Nice job by Roop. Gets it inside the 15, down near the 10, inside the 10, and what a punt down to the 9. Wow. So a 51-yard punt there for the Arrows, Isaac Roop. And wow, did that change field position and what maybe Chokey does here.
More production out of your punter in special teams. That's 3 times tonight that he has basically sealed field position for his team, and that probably means nothing but a knee and a halftime locker room at this point.
Well, tough. That's tough. You're down 2 touchdowns, with 2 timeouts, 45 seconds. You have some explosive weapons. We'll see what they decide to do here. Chokey Bradley is often unpredictable in his play calling out there. We'll see what the Tigers decide to do. You got a freshman quarterback, so that's another thing to roll in. And Duke Reese is in there.
He showed he was willing to gamble to start the football game. Is he willing to gamble down here?
Miles Bradley near side all alone. Press coverage there. Not press coverage, but man-to-man rather by McFrederick. 3 receivers to the far side. Back to pass in his own end zone. Throws over the middle. It's caught. And a little pitch and catch, and he has got another first down for the Tigers. I think it's Amar Davis out near the 24-yard line. So 15, almost 16 yards picked up there for Mansfield Senior. Clock stops, 1st and 10, 37 seconds to go. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage comes the Tigers.
Answer. Yes, Chokey Bradley is willing to gamble on his own 10.
Why not? The state runner-up from last year, a younger team this year, lost a lot of guys, but still some talented individuals out on this Tigers football team. In the shotgun is Reese. Back to pass. He's got pressure coming. Here comes the Arrows defensive line. He rolls near side. He's going to throw it up over midfield and caught by Gross at the 40. He's lit up and holds on. Caden Schmitz with a big hit, but doesn't matter. He holds on at the 41-yard line. Timeout coming here, or a first down rather. The chains are moving. Clock stops with 28 seconds. And I'm not sure if Chokey is over there calling a timeout right now or not. They're setting the ball. And 28 seconds to go as they move the chains.
That was a big hit on Avion Gross, and he held on. That's a big-time play, plus you'll add roughing the passer on top of that. 15 yards.
Wow, that really shifts the field.
Tacked on to the end of that play. Wow, that's they started this drive at 45 seconds on their own 10. And now in 17 seconds, they are sitting on the Ashland 43-yard line.
Well, the Arrows coaching staff is hot. They are fired up coming out talking to their team. We've got a timeout. Ashland, the Arrows call the timeout. Tacking on 15 yards puts the ball down at the 43-yard line in Arrows territory with 28 seconds and still 2 timeouts, Bob. So Chokey and company have a chance to maybe put some points on the board or at least throw it up towards the end zone with Gross and Bradley and Davis. You've got some tremendous wide receivers.
And you just wonder how many high school coaches, given that situation, down 2 scores on their 10 with 45 seconds, how many coaches are going to go, nope, not going to test the waters here, taking a knee, going to the locker room? Chokey Bradley says no, and it looks like he may be rewarded for making that decision.
I love it. I mean, I in high school football, that's the kind of stuff you want to go for it. Why not? You have nothing to lose. This is the last week, theoretically, as far as playoffs. If you lose, right, it's survive and advance. So whatever you can throw out there, you throw out there. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Norwalk and Copley. If the Arrows are able to hold on tonight and win, they would play here. If Mansfield Senior pulls this out in the second half, they would go on the road against either Norwalk or Copley, regardless.
Yep.
Here we go. 1st and 10 at the 43 of the Arrows. 28 ticks left on that clock in the first half. Arrows trying to shut down this late first half drive by the Tigers. Tigers trying to punch it in. Here we go. Reese back to pass, looks over the middle on the right side, caught by Davis, who flips it over to the right side. Oh, my, nice little trickery, a little hook and lateral, and now it's inside the 40, down near the 38-yard line, and I think we've got a timeout on the field called by Chokey Bradley and the Tigers. So just a nice little pickup there. And got it and flipped it over on the right side. I think it was Nicholas Robinson, 28, who he flipped it to. Hard to tell on that far side of the field. Either way, a gain of 6. So that was one that's designed to go all the way to the house, Bob, but the Arrows at least were able to stop that after 6 yards.
Looked like that play was somewhere in the hook and ladder family. Didn't quite look like a hook and ladder, but generally speaking, that's kind of what just happened. Second catch of the night for Amar Davis. And has second down and it looks like about 4 when play resumes. 20 seconds to go. And we look at the timeout scenario, and timeouts down to 1 for the Tigers. Still have 1 to go?
1 to go. In my days doing some stats back in the day for Espen, I think that the catch goes to the first guy, but the yardage goes to the second guy on who finishes it. There's some funky rules with the way that gets statted. You stat it however you want, Bob.
Hey, Heath.
So that's my recollection, is it's the first guy that gets the catch and the second guy gets the yardage. Hard to say. 2nd down and 4 to 37. 20 seconds to go in the first half. 1 timeout remaining for the Tigers. They're trying to push in some points before half. Shotgun snap is low. Reese grabs it. Pressure coming from Schuster. He hits Reese. Incomplete, thrown over the middle. Nice job by the Arrows defensive line. Triton Schuster in on the pressure with 15 seconds to go. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, right up in the face of Duke Reese. And luckily enough, it falls harmlessly incomplete. That ball was up for grabs and could have easily been intercepted.
He just tossed it up over the middle, and thankfully no one was there for the Tigers. 15 seconds to go. 3rd and 4 at the 37-yard line. Trips to the near side, single to the far. Single back is Darnell Hawkins next to Reese. Shotgun formation. One on the play clock. They just get it off. Back to pass. He rolls right. Pressured by Schuster again. Throws it downfield. It could be intercepted. It is at the 20. Arrows come up with a big pick at the 20-yard line with 6 seconds left. Caden Schmitz, the man on the spot, comes up with the interception for the Arrows, and they hold tight here as we approach the half.
Trying to make a big play down around the 15-yard line, and Caden Schmitz steps in front of the intended receiver and picks off Duke Reese. Turnover situation now is 2-1. Mansfield Seniors turned it over via the fumble and the interception, and Ashland has thrown one pick themselves.
Coach Cedar said that was the number one key tonight, was to win the turnover battle, and it is kind of a cliched thing to say, but it's also true. Cliches are generally cliches because they're true. So 6 seconds left to go in the first half. Now I would imagine the Arrows are just going to be happy to take a knee, but who knows? You know, every time I try to make a prediction out here, it is always incorrect.
Not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast, my friend. I mean, it's not the victory formation, so he's got trips to the near side and 2 to the far side. The half ended poorly last time out, and this is a give to Hartley up the middle. Hartley busts the line up near the 40, and he's upended at the 43-yard line. Nice run there of about 17 yards. But that is the half, and Ethan Hartley able to pick up some yards and maybe get a little momentum on the running game going in to the second half. Arrows with a tremendous first half. A lot of football left here when we come back. 21-7, Arrows on top. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We deploy our investigators to preserve evidence. We have the courtroom experience to show the insurance companies that we mean business. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt. Contact us at besmartlegal.com.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community. I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
One-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. Ohio Eye's expertise encompasses the entire range of visual eye diseases with emphasis on LASIK, cataract surgery with laser vision correction, glaucoma, macular degeneration, corneal transplant, and diabetic eye disease. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
usher you to our next locale, please welcome the Sweeties Dance Team. With the charm of spring and chestnuts in bloom, your heart will sing for the charm and sophistication found in our next city. Resplendent with the dulcet tones of trumpet soloist Graham Schaefer and the elegant dance stylings of our Sweet 16, we hope you enjoy April in Paris.
Welcome back to Community Stadium, everyone. We are at halftime with the Ashland Arrows on top of the Mansfield Senior High Tigers, 21-7. Let's take a look at how we got there. Ashland broke out on top at 51 seconds of the first quarter on a 41-yard pass play. Declan Rohr to Ethan Hartley. Spots point after touchdown was good. It was 7-0 Ashland, and it stayed that way through one quarter. 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. Mansfield Senior evened things up at 8 minutes to go before halftime on a 5-yard pass from Duke Reese to Miles Bradley from 5 yards away. Putt's point after touchdown was good. We were tied at 7. And then Ashland has scored the final 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. A 13-yard run by Declan Rohr and a Spots point after touchdown at 6:46 of the second. And then a 28-yard pass from Rohr to Landon McFrederick. And again, the Spots PAT, that happening at 3:13 of the second quarter. That's where we are at halftime. 21-7, the Ashland Arrows over the Mansfield Senior High Tigers. Let's take a look at the team numbers. And rushing the football has not been particularly productive on either sideline tonight. 25 yards rushing for the Ashland Arrows, 33 yards rushing for the Tigers. Passing the football, 123 for Mansfield Senior, 137 for Ashland. So you see the total yards, 156 for the Tigers, 162 for the Arrows. First downs, Tigers with the advantage, 6-4. And penalty situation, Mansfield Senior has been penalized 3 times for 25 yards. Ashland 2 times for 20 yards. And the turnover scenario, Senior High's turned it over twice, 1 interception and 1 fumble. And the Ashland Arrows have turned it over once via the interception. Looking at some of the individual numbers here at the half for Mansfield Senior, their leading rusher has been Dak Mitchell with 8 carries for 17 yards. Through the air, Duke Reese, 7 out of 14, 123, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. the touchdown to Miles Bradley. Miles with 4 catches for 74 yards and the score. Individually for the Ashland Arrows, leading rusher for them, Ethan Hartley, 4 carries, 24 yards, but of his 24 yards, 17 of them came on the last play of the half. Through the air, Declan Rohr, 8 of 15, 137, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Touchdowns thrown to Ethan Hartley and to Landon McFrederick. For Landon, the 28-yard touchdown strike, his only catch of the night. And Ethan Hartley with 3 catches for 91 yards as he's come out of the backfield for receptions of 41 yards and 47 yards. Jaden Jones with 4 catches for 45 yards. The other receiver having a big night for the Ashland Arrows. 2 quarters of football to go. The winner will advance to the next round. Number 7, Norwalk. Number 10, Copley doing battle tonight.
I got a score on that one,
And
Bob.
we've got a score. What do we have?
How about this? A 57-yard field goal from Garrison Smith of Norwalk. You heard that right, 57 yards. Has Norwalk up 17-10 over Copley as they were approaching the half. So I think they're just getting underway in the second half, but that's crazy.
17-10 Truckers, and we're somewhere near halftime.
Yeah, 57 yards.
That's impressive.
That's impressive at the pro level.
That
let
is
alone at the high
impressive.
school. That kid's probably earning himself maybe a scholarship just there on that kick alone.
Well, we'll see how that one turns out. The winner of this game tonight, if it's Ashland, they will stay here and play next week in week number 9, week number 3 of the playoffs, against the winner of Norwalk Copley. And if Mansfield Senior was to complete the comeback and win tonight, they would go on the road to play the winner of Norwalk and Copley.
One of the things we talked about coming into tonight, Bob, was the keys that Coach talked about, right? I'll revisit that. Turnovers, field position, and limiting the big play. Well, you already talked about turnovers a little bit, but the Arrows have been the benefactor, and they've taken advantage of the turnovers from Mansfield Senior, and that's always what means the most is the points off of turnovers.
So the turnovers, okay, check mark Ashland. Coach Cedar, happy guy. Take a look at the next thing. Field position. Check mark Isaac Roop. Right?
Oh, great punting. Tremendous job by Isaac Roop.
Beautiful job. So check mark there for the Ashland Arrows. Limit the explosive plays. Well, let's take a look at explosive plays for Mansfield Senior. In terms of big plays, there really have been a couple of them, and they've been pass plays from Duke Reese to Miles Bradley. There was a 29-yard play and a 32-yard play, none of which resulted in a score. So I think limiting big plays, again, check mark Ashland Arrows. I think Coach Cedar has to be a happy guy.
So you're going into the half, and we talk about this every week, adjustments and that sort of thing. 2 weeks ago, the Arrows were up 14-0 at the half against West Holmes, and then a couple of things caught up to them. Some of it was injuries, for sure, but also West Holmes made some adjustments. If you're Chokey Bradley, what are you going to do differently here in the second half?
Well, it's a struggle because normally, if you have a quarterback that's got some experience, you can game plan and you can shift, and a quarterback with experience is going to be able to carry that out. Remember, we're talking about a freshman quarterback, so I don't know that the lane for diversion and change and the typical halftime adjustments that you might want to make, I don't know how much bandwidth you have to get that done with a freshman quarterback.
That's a good point. Reese clearly has some potential. I mean,
absolutely,
we're going to see him the next few years.
Oh, we will, and he will grow into the position of Mansfield Senior High quarterback.
Yeah, you wonder, if he's done growing. Speaking of growing, if he's done growing vertically, right? He's 5'11". He's a big kid, but he also could still grow another couple inches. So you're talking about a big kid already with a good arm, and he is going to have his work cut out for him in the second half. And I think if you're the Arrows, sometimes defensively against a freshman quarterback or against a young quarterback, against any defense against a young quarterback, they often bring pressure. We may see more pressure in the second half because it's going to clearly become a little bit more of a passing game in Reese. I think we're going to see more of that. The Wildcat, I don't think it worked that well in the first half. We might see a little bit of it. They want to get the ball to Gross as much as they can.
We've seen enough of this Ashland defense to know how good they can be. And the last 2 quarters, 2 weeks ago in West Holmes, is in the rearview mirror. I don't even know if Coach let him look at the film of those 2 quarters. Just forget it. Because this defense, when they get after it, they can put pressure on the opposing quarterback, and I think that's a good take on your part. I think that's what they do with the freshmen already, a little bit tentative, and we're up 2 scores, meaning the Ashland Arrows up 2 scores. I think they dial up the pressure even more.
I was impressed with the Arrows making an adjustment early on because you saw a lot of blitz and a lot of pressure coming on Roar the first quarter, and then they made an adjustment to either get rid of the ball quicker or to have an extra back there to chip a little bit, and the Arrows made that adjustment.
They did, and I just was handed a score that is going to take you a little bit by surprise, if not a lot by surprise.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Number 11 seed Olentangy Berlin is facing off against number 6 seed Worcester tonight.
Yes. Let me guess. 27-6.
Yes, you would be correct. But you haven't said who.
Olentangy.
Berlin is beating Worcester tonight at the half, 27-3.
Wow.
Did you see 27-6?
It's 27-3, 220, 221, whatever it takes. It doesn't matter either way.
At the half, that's a shocker.
That is a shocker. A lot of football left, though.
Yeah.
And Worcester, we know, is a talented enough squad that they can come back and put some points on the board. As far as putting points on the board here tonight, the Arrows have 21 of them, and it has been a really nice offensive performance based on picking up points on turnovers. Mansfield Senior is going to come out and make some adjustments assuredly. And, I think if you're Senior, this is a game where you come in excited, hoping that you can compete with Ashland, and you have. They've battled, and we'll see what kind of heart they have here when you come out. And just like we talked about, I think, in a couple of games so far this year, Bob, the first drive, I was thinking basketball, but the first drive for each team coming out of the half seems to always set the tone. So if Senior can come out, they're going to get the ball back. If they can come out and do something offensively, maybe hopefully for them put up points, but at least move the field and flip the field, then that might set the tone for the second half.
Yeah, I think that there's going to have to be a short field opportunity for Mansfield Senior to get back in it. I mean, you think that a big play from this defense, which is a solid defense, one of the best defenses in the area. They've given up 21 through a couple of quarters to a banged up Ashland offensive unit. So I'm a little bit surprised by that, quite frankly. But you have to have the sense that a short field or a defensive touchdown by Senior High is what it may take to get him back in the ballgame.
Well, if you think back to the opening kick, Chokey Bradley and company with a little pooch kick, and they actually recovered it, but they weren't able to capitalize. Will we see something like that here in the second half? Will they have to try to pull out more tricks? Do you do whatever you can in a playoff game?
Yeah, it could have been a different scenario altogether had they been able to close the deal on the opening drive. So now they've kind of have the cliche-wise, backs against the wall. They gotta come up with something that shortens up the scenario, because it's an uphill battle with the offense, with the freshman quarterback trying to go against a very, very sound Ashland defensive unit. So I think by the time we get underway here in the third and Senior High gets the football.
Seemed like an exceptionally long halftime here.
Well, Aaron Hines told me, he said, you guys are getting used to 10-minute halftime, and then they tack on the couple minutes extra for the warm-up. Oh. You guys are getting used to that, but here's what's going to happen.
Oh, boy.
They're going to go 15-minute halftime on you, because that's what they did in week 1 of the playoffs, and that's what they've done here tonight.
Okay. So there it is. We're about to get ready here to kick off in the second half. The Arrows up 21-7 here as we get ready to start the second half at home.
This helps us to build our fill skill, right?
Listen, nobody's ever told me I had a hard time filling any time talking, ever. Just ask anyone around me. They'll tell you. He's full of hot air. That's the appropriate term.
If you're wondering about the OCC and the conference standings and what that's all about, coming into tonight,
I am wondering.
Worcester is at the top of the conference, undefeated, 5-0 in conference. Ashland is at 4-1. West Holmes is at 4-1, which makes this game, this looming game that's out there between Ashland and Worcester, extremely important. It's supposed to happen next week. I would be completely shocked if it did.
I don't think so.
Completely shocked. I mean, it would require that Ashland lost tonight and that Worcester lost tonight.
Yeah.
And if they would both lose tonight, then potentially, it could happen next week. But
a lot of football to play here tonight.
We're in playoff mode, but there's an OCC conference champion to crown at some point.
Well, if you want to crown them, crown them. We'll see what happens.
There's in the MOAC, there's some provision where if a team doesn't play everybody else, then we're going to vacate the conference championship for that year.
Wow.
So I wonder how many conferences have that scenario where we just weren't able to complete the appropriate conference schedule, so we're going to vacate a championship for this season.
Well, that'll be interesting, and nothing surprises me this year with 2020, right? I mean, that's all you got to say.
No.
All right, the Arrows and Tigers getting ready to get back underway here in the second half. Arrows up 21-7, kicking it off, going left to right, and they're in their home orange with black numbers and white trim. Tigers in the white, and he's going to kick it deep, and it bounces around the 20 and rolls inside to the 18. Here comes the Tigers. Going the wrong way and wrapped up at the 15-yard line by the Arrows. Nice job on the Arrows' special teams there as they wrapped up Donovan Duncan.
See what Mansfield Senior can get done. Possessions will be increasingly at a premium as we move our way through the second half.
1st and 10 at their own 15. The Tigers come out. Here down 2 scores. Will we see Duke Reese again right away? I believe so. The left-handed freshman hurler back there in the quarterback spot. The Arrows caused him a few issues here so far, but he's shown that he can hit the deep ball. 9 for 17, 128 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Trips to the near side. Single receiver is Gross on the far side. Dak Mitchell to his right. Shotgun. Good-sized crowd here that's allowed here at Community Stadium. Back to pass, short drop. It's a screen out of the near side and caught and immediately had to go down to the ground to catch it. Is Miles Bradley. So a loss on that play, a completion, but a loss of 2. 2nd down and 12.
And our statistician, engineer Heath Garrison, he reports, and he does agree with you with regard to how you stat the hook and ladder.
Oh,
First receiver gets the catch, second gets the yardage.
Wow. Hey, blind squirrel.
Thank you,
All
Heath.
right. Thank you, sir. I'm not calling Heath the blind squirrel. I'm calling myself that, just so we're clear.
Because you guessed.
I guessed. To the shotgun is Reese. Man to his right. Back to pass. Trips right. Looking. He's got time. Here comes Garish. Now forces him out of the pocket at the 10-yard line. Throws it over the middle. Incomplete. Jaden Jones in the area. Looked like he might have been looking for Keontae Bradley, who's in there at wide receiver right now for the Tigers. So nothing doing there. 3rd down and long. Mansfield Senior really could have used at least a first down on this first drive. There's no doubt. 3rd down tonight. Mansfield Senior 3 out of 11. 11:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Just underway at Community Stadium in the second half. Reese in the shotgun, standing at his own 7 on the near hash. Hyder showing blitz off the right edge. Here he's coming. Around the edge, he's going to look to throw it downfield. Open man and wide open. Actually was Gross, I believe, on the far side. Nope, not Gross. Keontae Bradley, rather, but incomplete. It falls at the 35-yard line, and here comes the punt team.
When we first started the ball game, Dak Mitchell looked like he might be a weapon tonight on the ground. Early on, I mean, he was creating yardage. He was creating some positive things between the tackles for the senior high running game, and
they went away from him.
They went away from the ground game, and it's just like, let's have the freshman quarterback just keep reloading. 4th and long,
punting it away. His putt from his own 3-yard line. He gets away. It's short. Metzger's calling for a fair catch at the 34. He bobbled it but held on. Oh, my. 10:54. That would have been disastrous for the Arrows, but it doesn't matter. Almost does not count in that regard, so he holds on to it, and the Arrows with great field position to start the second half on their first possession.
Yep, short field opportunity for Ashland. That's what senior high needed. So pressure on the senior high defense now. they're going to have to find a way to contain what has been a pretty effective passing game by Declan Rohr. He spread the football around to 4 different receivers. The majority of the time it's gone to Jones and Hartley.
9 of 16 in the first half, passer rating of a 106.5. If you're a math teacher out there and you want to give your kids a good math equation, try to get them to figure out quarterback rating. I've done that before back when I taught math. Not fun. Rohr back to back, and in the shotgun, hands it off to Hartley around the right side, and a nice gain on first down. Going to be second down and short.
Now, if you can bring Hartley back and say, okay, here's what we want to do, guys. In the first half, if we can get the lead, we're going to go with the bell cow Hartley in the second half to shorten up the game, and they go to him again.
Second forehand off to Hartley around the right side, and he's near the first down marker, a little bit short. The Arrows were quick to the line of scrimmage. They like what they saw, and Hartley gets it down to around the 26, maybe the 25-yard line. Third down and 2 coming up, and Hartley is hobbling again coming off the sideline. So Ethan Hartley with a couple carries there, and he's dinged up again. We might not see him again tonight.
Yeah, that is what we feared when you use him as a runner. They used him as a receiver. They got away with it in the first half. They go to him twice in a row on the ground, and he hobbles off.
Got to make a couple of those tough cuts. Rohr back to pass, looks over the middle. He's got a man caught at the 15, inside, now down near the 11. Jaden Jones with the catch there on third down. First down, Arrows. A big first down pickup for Ashland. Wow.
14 yards on the hookup. That's the 5th catch for 59 yards for Jaden Jones. 151 yards through the air now for Declan Rohr.
Caden Spots was in there at halfback, and the freshman also doing some of the kicking and coming in to filling in for Hartley. Trips left, 2 receivers to the near side. Spots in the slot right now, and McFrederick to the right. Now in motion is Spots. He comes right to left, and he's going to get it from Rohr, and he's immediately tripped up in the backfield around the 14-yard line. Nice job there by the defensive line, and Tigers darting in. Mills on the tackle.
First carry of the night for Caden Spots. When this happened a couple of weeks ago, we saw that Bryant Haas had some carries. Haven't seen him tonight as a ball carrier. We see Caden Spots.
So Spots in there with the Arrows. Second down and 11, under 9 minutes to go. They're at the Tigers' 12-yard line. 2 running backs, 1 on each side of Rohr. He's going to give it to Spots up the middle. Nice little cutback inside the 10, down near the 8-yard line, and a nice little cutback by Spots. He picks up 4, and it'll be third down and about 7.
If they can find a way to keep matriculating the football down the field and moving the chains with, the combination of backs that they go with when Hartley can't go, boy, what a bonus that is.
I wonder if we'll see any more quarterback draws here. Rohr, empty backfield, 2 to the right, 3 to the left. Here comes the pressure, and now we've got a whistle. And I'm not sure if we had a timeout called or an offsides. I didn't see a flag, but there must be one. Officials are gathering. Oh, my. Big penalty there. Offsides, encroachment technically there by the Tigers, and that brings up a much more manageable third down and 2 at the 3-yard line for the Arrows. Arrows punch this one in, Bob. It could be big trouble for the Tigers. Oh, my, an actual huddle. And they're quick to the line. Rohr right under center. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. And now he steps back and looks for the call. Trying to look to see who's deep in the shotgun there.
They're going to need to call timeout.
And the Arrows, as the play clock is running down, are going to burn a timeout, and it's a good one. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We deploy our investigators to preserve evidence. We have the courtroom experience to show the insurance companies that we mean business. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt. Contact us at besmartlegal.com.
Third down and 2. The Arrows coming out of the timeout. 7:49 to go here in the third quarter. Hartley is back in the ball game. Colton Johnson split far to the left now with Metzger in there as well. Hartley in the slot to the near side, and McFrederick back to pass is Rohr. Pressure coming, throws it over the middle. Wide open, McFrederick in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Arrows. Well, 2 times right near that W of the Arrows in the end zone there. Rohr to McFrederick.
That is just crazy. Landon McFrederick, the touchdown maker.
He is money in the bank inside the red zone. A good percentage of his catches this year have been for touchdowns. It's 27-7, and a big one right there for the Arrows.
And how about Ethan Hartley back in the football game? Based on the way he came off the field, I would have said he's done.
I think we might not see him again now that it's 27-7.
No, I don't think so.
Hyder, the holder, high snap, grabs it. The kick is away, and it's good. Arrows up 28-7. You're listening to Arrows Football on iHeartRadio.
A one-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
The Firelands Electric Cooperative Touchstone Energy Partner, proud to support high school football on iHeartRadio. You can listen to the game if you're out of the area on the iHeartRadio app.
Brandon Wells and Bob Miller here at Community Stadium. The Arrows and Tigers in an OCC playoff game. It's not an OCC playoff, it's a playoff game. This OCC rivalry. Kick is away. Arrows up 28-7. It takes an Arrows bounce and goes up. Grabbed at the 15 by Amar Davis. So he's going to bring it out around the right side, and he is wrapped up by a handful of Arrows at the 22-yard line. Ashland special teams really showing up right there. Take your pick of Arrows there on the tackle.
Pretty much do or die time now for the Tigers. I mean, every possession they've got to put points on the board.
Colton Johnson in on the tackle. Sorry, Bob.
Can't afford to give the football away now. You gotta have points out of every possession.
The Arrows up 21, 7:36 to go in the third quarter. And here comes Duke Reese and this Tigers offense that has sputtered a little bit here since early on. They've struggled all year offensively, and of course Reese in for Brock Hill this week and last week. Low snap, but he grabs it. He's back to pass, rolls right, throws across his body, caught at the 27, and wrapped up immediately at the 29-yard line. So Dak Mitchell out of the backfield grabs that one. Maybe they heard you, Bob. We'll try to line up Dak Mitchell a little bit. So McFrederick in on the tackle there for the Arrows. Second down and 5 at the 29-yard line. Clock working against the Tigers as they approach the 7-minute mark here in the third quarter. Down 3 scores.
Unfortunately for the Tigers, I mean, pretty one-dimensional.
Reese in the shotgun, hands it off to Mitchell, and he goes right up the middle, and he's hit at the 30. Gain of 1. Third down and 4 coming up. Jake Beaver in on the tackle, and Jacob Beverly as well in on the tackle for the Arrows.
You really have to think it's 4-down territory no matter where you are on the field at this point.
Third and 4. Clock running. 6.5 minutes. Every tick that goes by, the Arrows are that much closer to advancing to the third round of the playoffs. Reese in the shotgun. Two receivers to the near. He's back to pass. Short drop. He's looking for that bubble. Now he looks over the middle. Overshoots Miles Bradley at the 36. Would have been a first down. Incomplete. Fourth down coming up now. We'll see if Chokey's going for it already on fourth down.
If you're unaware of why Brock Hill's not in there, there's an investigation by the OHSAA about his eligibility with regard to him being quarterback at Mansfield Senior, and the OHSAA is looking into it. And last week they put him on the sideline, said you can't play. That has continued this week, and that is why Brock Hill's not in there.
Fourth down, they tried for the hard count there, 4th and 4, can't get it. Reese is in there for Hill, who was 74% of the offense for this Tigers squad. Reese in the shotgun. Arrows showing blitz. Now we've got a whistle, and play clock, I think, might have expired, or did we get a timeout first? Delay of game it is, and now the punt unit comes in. So they did try to get the hard count and then decided we'll take the penalty and we're going to boot it away. Interesting decision there. And here comes the punt team.
You were talking about Brock Hill and what he did in the last game.
Avion Gross in punting. Sorry to interrupt you. I haven't seen that. That's strange. So Gross standing at the 12-yard line.
What may happen here?
Who knows? The wild punt kick something. Here it is, booted away. Not a bad punt. And fair catch called for at the 44-yard line by the Arrows' Johnny Metzger, and they'll take over there with decent field position. So Gross can do a little bit of everything, apparently.
Looking back at how Brock Hill performed as a quarterback back in Week 4 against the Ashland Arrows in the 13-6 loss, pretty decent ball game for him as a thrower. 16 out of 26, 215 yards. Did throw an interception, but you compare that to the productivity tonight. They definitely missed Brock Hill for sure.
Duke Reese 10 for 20 tonight. Make that 11 for 22 tonight with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Rating around 65 for those of the football stat nerds out there like myself.
Count me in that group too.
6:10 to go here in the third. Arrows up 28-7. 1st and 10 at the 43. Give to Hartley around the left side. He's immediately hit in the backfield, or at least tripped up, rather, and grabbed around the ankles before Ricky Mills brings him down. No gain. Back to the line of scrimmage. Arrows probably going to run some clock here. I'm really kind of surprised Hartley's in there. Maybe he had a cramp. Maybe it wasn't an ankle.
That's a tough kid. I mean, we knew he was banged up. I mean, the whole ankle thing, I mean, everybody that follows Ashland football knows about the ankle thing. And when he came off just a few minutes ago, I thought there's no way he's going to be out there. And then, boom, 13's back out.
I'm thinking maybe it was a cramp. Who knows? Give to Hartley around the end around to the 45. Cuts back inside, and he is hit hard, but gets out near midfield. And I think they'll mark it around the 48 or 49-yard line. Ricky Mills again in on the tackle for the Tigers, but the Arrows keep that clock rolling. 3rd down and 5 coming up. Metzger and Jones and Colton Johnson split wide left. McFrederick to the near side. Arrows quickly back up to the line of scrimmage. Hartley in that backfield. Sidecar to the right of Rohr. Hard count. Now he looks over to the sideline for the call. Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter and counting here at Community Stadium.
We've seen the Ashland Arrows play with the lead a lot. We've seen how Rohr can really take that play clock down.
Line shifts over right to left. Rohr back to pass. Those for Hartley. Caught at the 45. Inside Tigers territory, and he's wrapped up and knocked out of bounds near the 35-yard line. Great pitch and catch there. Malachi Mays in on the tackle. Wow, what a throw by Rohr down the near sideline. They love that little wheel route for Hartley, and he connects again.
That's 18 on the catch. Number 4 on the night for Ethan Hartley. 18 yards and another first down. First down number 6 for the Arrows.
1st and 10 at the 35, and that's a big pickup as they flip the field here and keep the clock rolling and potentially driving towards more points. Hartley in the slot. McFrederick split near side. Trips way left. Now Hartley comes in motion right to left and lands to the left of Rohr, and they give it to Hartley. Cuts back up the middle. Not much there. Maybe a yard or two. Makai Bradley in on the tackle for the Tigers.
Keep the clock moving, and you know every time you do that, without an incompletion as Hartley comes to the near sideline. Looks okay just coming out of the ball game. Every first down you pick up is another 2 minutes of clock time that you can burn. And when you've got a 3-touchdown lead, that's an important step that you want to execute.
2nd down and 9, under 4 minutes to go. Spots is in there. Rohr throws it to the near side, caught by McFrederick at the 32, and he's inside the 25. Nice run after the catch. First down, Arrows, and boy, every time McFrederick catches the ball, you think, is he going to take it to the house? Because he is explosive from that wide receiver position. If you're just joining us maybe for the first time this year, McFrederick was the runner-up in the quarterback battle with Declan Rohr during camp in August, and you see the explosiveness and the athleticism that caused it to be a tough decision for Coach Cedar.
3rd catch of the night for Landon. Good enough for another first down for the Arrows.
You'd hate to move him out of that wide receiver spot next year, but you know, if he's the best quarterback next year, we'll deal with that next year. In the shotgun, Rohr gives it to Spots. Spots cuts back towards the middle and keeps the clock running inside the 25, down near the 24, 23-yard line. So 2nd down.
Following up what you talked about, if you have to pull in McFrederick out next year with the graduation of Declan Rohr and make him the quarterback, I mean, you are particularly deep. Seems like Ashland is always deep. 6, 7, sometimes 8 receivers in that receiver room. Very, very deep group.
2nd down and 10 at the 23. Spots in motion going from right to left. He split wide left, and Rohr's going to hit him at the 29. Caught. Makes one man miss, but he stumbles inside the 25 down near the 23, back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 coming up. Nice hands, though, and a good catch by Spots, the freshman, in the backfield. Hartley's going to check back in. Spots checks back out. Spots getting some good spot duty, if you will, and no pun intended, but really an opportunity for a freshman to get some time to learn on the job.
That's the first catch of the night for Caden.
Hartley back in there to the right of Rohr. 3rd down and 10 at the 23-yard line. Play action, rolls out to the near side, looking downfield, got a man in the end zone, caught, touchdown! Ethan Hartley again!
Hartley again for his...
Wow!
Oh, my goodness. 2nd touchdown reception of the night for Ethan.
What a great play action, and Hartley just slipped through the line of scrimmage and just disappeared down near the end zone, caught it at the 2-yard line and just walked in untouched. Great throw by Rohr.
A great deception, great play action by Rohr at the line of scrimmage.
I'm not sure we'll see Hartley again now that it's 34-7, but who knows, 2:02 to go. I think I'd put him down and let him rest the rest of today. Son, you've done enough. Spots coming in to kick. Snap's good, hold is good, and the kick is away. And it's good. 35-7 Arrows. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
$35-7 Arrows on top of the Tigers here with 2:02 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the Arrows opener for the playoffs. It's not the opening round of the playoffs, but it's the opener for the Arrows. They got a bye last week, and Tigers beat Sylvania Southview last week. And the Arrows off the bye week look really good, Bob.
I'm surprised. You talked to a lot of people, you would have thought this game was going to be tight, low scoring and tight. And particularly with, the whatever you want to call it with regard to the Ashland offense and Hartley's condition and so forth, and Tommy Carpenter being out of the ball game, surprising production from Ashland's offense.
Spots boots it away, and Davis grabs it at the 5, and he gets a short return, a late flag. It looks like a late hit on the Arrows as he was wrapped up out of bounds. Amar Davis was getting near that sideline. That's a a close call, I will say, but got to let up. So 15 yards tacked on there, and the Arrows with a 35-7 lead. At this point, I won't say it's academic because anything can happen in football, but you want to be careful here. Braylon Hyder, the guilty party there, he started to wrap him up in bounds, and then you got to let up as you get out of bounds. So that's a tough call there, and it gives the Tigers good field position. Now, with under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter and a 35-7 deficit for the Tigers, they got to score right away.
Arrows in total command now, and I think they can really, if they haven't turned up the pressure on Reese in the second half, they're certainly about to. Got a minute 56 to go here in the third, and I think they're going to be coming after Duke Reese.
Reese in the shotgun, trips to the right, single receiver near side, and one back, Dak Mitchell. Back to pass, Reese, short drop, throws it over the middle. Nice slant cut, he's got a man, it's Bradley, and he's inside Arrow territory down near the 44. Keontae Bradley with a nice catch and run after the catch, and just like that, the Tigers are on the move, and they're hurrying up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line for the Tigers offense. Nice throw there by Reese. In the shotgun near midfield, he stands with Mitchell to his right. Trips again to the right, single receiver to the near side. Low snap, it's been like that all night. Reese catches it though, throws it out to Davis at the 40, caught and wrapped up at the 39 by Jacob Beverly.
Sense of urgency now seems to suit Duke Reese pretty well.
Reese, the freshman quarterback, really doing a nice job in relief this week and last week. Standing at the 44-yard line, 2nd down and 5 at the 39. Approaching the 1-minute mark here in the third quarter. Reese calls for it. Back to pass. Short drop rolls near side. He's rushed away by Garish. Throws it over the middle. Caught by Davis. The 35. He makes a couple arrows miss. He's got some room to go, and he's down near the 20-yard line. 19-yard pickup there between Reese and Davis. Wow, what a play there.
4th catch of the night for Amar Davis. 19 yards, another 1st down.
Schmidt's in on the tackle for the Arrows. 1st and 10, under a minute to go in the third. They'll call it the 21-yard line and an 18-yard pickup officially. Mitchell in the backfield with Reese. Trips to the near side, single receiver to the far side. Reese in that shotgun, low snap again, but he grabs it off the field, throws it downfield inside the 5, caught, Gross, touchdown, he rumbles in. Wow, what a throw and catch. 22 yards, Reese to Gross. Touchdown Tigers, 35-13, and a little life shown here by the Tigers.
A little bit of life. First touchdown tonight by Avion Gross, 4th on the year. Just the 2nd catch of the night for Avion.
Gross, really nice job extending at the end of that play to get away from Chase Dillow and into the end zone. Now here comes Putt, put up the extra point, try to make it 35-14 with 35 seconds left in the third. Snap is high, but grabbed, and Putt's kick is up, and it's good. 35-14. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
A one-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
(35-14). Arrows on top, but a nice 22-yard touchdown. Reese to Gross puts the Tigers back in it a little bit here, and they're going to kick it short. The Arrows are going to go and grab it at the 19-yard line to the 25, 30, and knocked down at the 35-yard line, where the Arrows will take over. Not a bad return there for the Arrows. 1st and 10 with 29 seconds. Colton Johnson with a nice return there. The Arrows with a 21-point lead, Bob, and maybe one play only here to end out the third quarter.
The Tigers kind of clinging to a big fourth quarter, blocking the back on the receiving team, so that's going to push Ashland back.
Sorry, I didn't see the flag. Our spotter, Tony Van Dyne, is MIA once again. He's on the DL somewhere in Indiana.
On the DL in Indiana.
I don't know. He's not really on the DL, but he is maybe on the down low in Indiana. 29 seconds to go in the third. And
obviously prepping for the Indiana Hoosiers home opener a week from Saturday.
It's possible. Tried to talk my backup spotter into coming tonight, so we're relying on Mr. Jason Miller up here in the booth, who's doing double duty for Mr. Steve Paramore. 1st and 10, under 30 seconds to go. Hand off over to the left side and a short run for the Arrows. Maybe back to the line. I think it's Hartley. It's on that far side of the field. Hard to tell who had it. Yep, Ethan Hartley with a short gain. Oh, Caden Spots, rather. Sorry. So we're all wrong there. Caden Spots. Jason Miller had it right, and that'll be the last play of the third quarter. Arrows up 35-14 as we head to the fourth. We're 1 quarter away from an advance in the playoffs for the Arrows. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
A one-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their project.
On your Alexa smart speaker, just say, Alexa, play WNCO AM 1340 on iHeartRadio.
2nd down and 9. Rohr hands it off to Spots around the left side behind the left guard, and the left tackle a nice gain there as they pick up about 5, and that'll bring up 3rd down and short as we get the fourth quarter underway. The Arrows up 35-14, 11:40 to go in the ballgame at Community Stadium. The winner advances to play the winner of Norwalk and Copley. Rohr in the shotgun. Spots in there at the tailback spot. I think maybe we won't see any more of Hartley. We'll see. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the near. Spots in motion, comes left to right. Now he's back there, and he's going to get the handoff from Rohr. Cuts it back to the right. Nice cut back, 25-30 or 20-25, and a nice run there by Caden Spots. 1st down, Arrows. There's the footwork you see from Caden Spots that Coach Cedar and company have seen. Sometimes as a freshman, it takes you a little time to figure out your spot.
That's a nice looking run by Caden Spots. Hit the hole quick, and he really showed some quickness there. And he's gotten a chance to be the feature back here a little bit in the third quarter. He's got 6 carries on the night for 19 yards.
I promise I'll stop saying spot when it comes to him running the ball. 2 receivers to the far side, 3 to the near. Spots in motion. He gets the handoff, cuts it back to the right side, 30, 35. It spins around and knocked down at the 38-yard line. Nice run there by Caden Spots. And, boy, you can see the potential in that young man back there. Giving Hartley a breather here for sure, and maybe this will allay the fears of Coach Cedar to put Hartley back in and kind of keep him on the sideline healthy for next week. You got a 3-score lead, 10.5 minutes to go. The Arrows trying to still be aggressive but run this one out.
Well, with the kind of running Caden's doing, Caden's got to say to the guy that makes up the roster, get me on the roster, because he's not on there.
Well, Hey, that's okay.
If I can run like that, even though I'm a freshman, get me on the roster.
There it is. Caden Spots playing well. 10:15 to go. And a handoff on the end around, and immediately met in the backfield was Spots, and the Tigers sniffed that one out from a mile away. The Arrows lose 6 yards on first down, and now it'll be second down and long. Wow.
That thing blew up in the backfield.
Yeah, it didn't matter who the running back was there.
More than one Tiger met the ball carrier in the backfield that time.
Right. How come? Well, never mind. I'm not going to go there. 9:45 to go, 35-14. Arrows, second down and 16. I was going to say a running back of legendary status wouldn't have done anything there. And I think, never mind. We'll just say it was very juicy. 2 to the near side, 3 to the far, and a timeout called as the play clock was approaching 0. We'll take one as well. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Brandon Wells and Bob Miller bringing you all the action here tonight. The Arrows and the Tigers, and a playoff battle here at Community Stadium. Arrows up 35-14, 9:28 to go. Second down and 21 coming up after the Arrows just flagged there for a 5-yard penalty. Going the wrong way here on this possession so far after a nice run by Spots earlier. 9.5 minutes to go. Roar in the shotgun, Spots in motion, going left to right. Back to pass, little bubble screen, looking for McFrederick at the 28, incomplete. So nice defense there by Duncan, who was in the area and sort of sniffed that one out for sure.
They had the right play called because the kitchen sink was coming after Declan Roar, and if they could have found a way to complete that pass, I think there was high yards after the catch to be had.
Nice job by the senior Donovan Duncan to stay home with his man and blow up the screen. Third down and 21. Spots in motion, gets the handoff, and a short gain there before he's wrapped up near the 27-yard line. And the Arrows clearly running some game clock here as they approach the 9-minute mark. Fourth down coming up. I think we'll see Isaac Roop coming out, who has had a heck of a night so far in the punting game.
3 punts have done a good job pinning the Tigers back in some critical spots, flipping the field in favor of the Arrows.
Roop standing around the 12-yard line. 2 Tigers are deep at their own 40-yard line, including Miles Bradley. Kick is away, and it is high and a good one. Grabbed by Bradley at the 33-yard line in Tigers territory. So about a 38-yard punt, somewhere in that range. Isaac Roop has really done a great job of helping with field position. The Arrows have so far won the turnover battle. They have won the field position battle and generally eliminated the big play.
His best game of the year by far as a punter. Great job. We've seen him 4 times now in some pretty pressure-packed situations on the field.
You know what's interesting is that Spots is doing the place kicking and Roop is doing the punting tonight, and that hasn't happened very often. I wonder if just eliminating the kicking duties has helped him concentrate strictly on the punting duties.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. And if Spots may, in practice, may have shown that he deserves the opportunity to get out there, show what he can do, so they decide to split it right down the middle. Responsibilities to the kicker and to the punter, 2 different people.
35-14, 8:39 to go here at Community Stadium. Duke Reese in the shotgun. Running backs on either side. Play action looking downfield, and it is incomplete at the 50. Chase Dillow came in and went looking for the interception. Avion Gross was the intended receiver, and Reese overshoots him.
Some final scores ought to start trickling in just about any time. And the one that particularly is of interest to us is number 7 Norwalk playing number 10 Copley tonight. That's the winner that the winner here will face next week in week number 9.
Yeah, last we saw, Norwalk 17-10 was up, and Berlin is up 27-12 over Worcester as they're into the third quarter there.
8:34 left in our ball game.
35-14. Reese in the shotgun, calling for it. High snap. He just barely grabs it and avoids disaster. Rolls near side, looking over the middle. He's got a man tipped off the hands of Bradley. Caught by Gross, though, at the 45-yard line. First down. Wow. Keontae Bradley had it in his hands, tipped away, and then Avion Gross, the right man in the right position. And it'll be a gain of about 14 yards there. They'll mark it at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, and Reese and the Tigers back into the hurry-up. Gross in the near side. 3 receivers split far to the left.
That's 207 yards through the air now for the freshman, Duke Reese.
Darnell Hawkins in the backfield with Reese. Reese, the left-handed signal caller, back to pass. Looking, rolls near side. Garish gets undercut. Now he rolls way left out by the 40-45. Chased away by Hannah. Thrown downfield at the 43. Could be an interception. Did he get under it? Nope. Incomplete. Jaden Jones tried to pick it off, and the far sideline official said it hit the grass, or the turf rather, before. And getting a look at it, Reese rolling left, trying to throw it on the run. Nice pressure there. Looks downfield. Beaver on the pressure, and it looked like might have been an interception. Tough call there. Whether or not he got his hands underneath it, hard to tell.
He came up pretty confident that he had picked it.
Well, there's always a little bit of acting, in some of these, some of those plays. You want to sell it, right?
That's right.
Second down and 10, 8 minutes to go at the 47-yard line in their own backfield, and their own side of the ball, rather. Well, the own side of the 50. I'll get it right eventually. Reese rolling out left, pressured by Beaver and Schuster, and throws it incomplete at the 47. And a late flag is going to be called on Jaden Jones, rather, the defensive back. And he hit the wide receiver after the wide receiver had it, and they're now gathering to decide whether it was maybe hitting a defenseless receiver or what. The officials coming over to give us the call. Wow, personal foul called on Jaden Jones. 15 yards, extends the drive. I'm not sure about that. That looked like a pretty good play defensively by Jaden Jones.
Enough time left in the ball game where you start to scratch your head a little bit if Senior High can stick it in the end zone here fairly quickly.
Well, yeah, that was an interesting call, and it flipped the field. All of a sudden, it's 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Under 8 minutes to go. Still time left to go here. Back to pass, Reese, bubble screen. He's got Gross, and he is immediately wrapped up by McFrederick. Oh, my, and Jake Beaver right there. A big loss. Back to the 44, loss of 6. The Arrows defensively knew that one was coming, and Gross had no chance whatsoever.
Yeah, you got to get it to the big playmakers, right? So their eyes are peeled on what number 12's doing. Number 13, excuse me.
I haven't seen Nakari Verdon, number 12, tonight. How about that? He played a big role earlier in the season.
Yeah, Verdon's been a guy that we expected to see run the football tonight. Haven't seen him at all.
No, they used him in that Wildcat. The Arrows showing blitz. 2nd down and 16 at the 44. Here comes Jones looking, and he's coming after him. It's Haase, actually, rather, coming after Reese, who throws it up for grabs and out of bounds at the 32. Incomplete. So nice pressure there by Haase, coming from nowhere. First time we've called his name tonight. And getting some fresh legs in there. Bryant Haase, the junior defensive back, causes Reese to throw it away. 3rd down and 16 coming up, Bob.
Haase's the guy that we saw run the football a couple weeks ago when Hartley went down in West Holmes. Haven't seen him as a runner tonight, but see him on defense.
7:05 to go in the 4th. 3rd and 16 at the Arrows' 44-yard line. Reese in the shotgun. He's got Hawkins to his right, trips left. Single receiver is Gross in the near side. bracketing him, throws it to Gross over the middle, off his hands, incomplete at the 40-yard line. Tough play there, and Gross couldn't haul it in. Nice coverage by Jaden Jones, and Landon McFrederick also in there.
Ball behind him a little bit, and Gross tried to reach back and bring it in. Couldn't get it done. Brings up a 4th down. Obviously, it's 4-down territory here. 4th and long.
If the Arrows are able to stop it here, it's pretty much over.
4th down and about 16 here.
4th down and 16. You never know. 7 minutes to go. Trips left, single to the near side. Race in the shotgun at the 50. Back to pass. Here comes some pressure. Throws it over the middle. Off the hands of Amar Davis. Incomplete. The Arrows will take over on downs. And it's looking good for the Ashland Arrows here tonight. That said, the Tigers have handled themselves pretty well against a really good football team here tonight.
I'm actually very surprised that Ashland was able to overcome the lack of a running game and still be this productive offensively. Wouldn't have thought 35 points would be an outcome when you just weren't running the football. Leading rusher in the ball game, 9 carries, 40 yards for Ethan Hartley. Caden Spots has come in and been fairly productive here the last couple of drives. He's got 22 yards rushing on 9 carries.
Just 63, I believe, total yards on the ground, right around that number for the Arrows.
Yep. So it's been Declan Rohr getting it down through the air, 210 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And Isaac Roop punting it away, doing his job.
Yeah, good point. As an offensive weapon, you can't discount Isaac Roop.
Wow, they called a delay of game really quickly there on the Arrows. I'm not sure if the play clock was set too early or what, but either way, 6:56. The Arrows moving back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. And the Arrows with a 21-point lead here at Community Stadium. Declan Rohr in the shotgun. Trips right, 2 to the near side. Snap is bad. Ball's loose. Oh, no, it's McFrederick is in there at shotgun. Ball's loose. Tigers, I think, might have come up with it at the 22, and they're knocked down. And at the 21-yard line, McFrederick got put in there at the quarterback position. The snap went a little awry. He couldn't hold on to it. And going the other way, the Tigers come up with the loose ball. It's never over until that clock strikes 0. There's no doubt. So Coach trying to get his younger guys some PT and some guys a rest, and the Arrows turn it over.
I mean, that's just disastrous the way that took place. It's a good thing that you have a 3-touchdown advantage to be able to withstand something like that, but short field opportunity now upcoming for the Tigers. So just when they thought they were down and out, we'll hold on for just a second.
Play clock down to 8. Reese back in there. 2 receivers to the near, single to the far left, and he's got a running back on each side. And now we've got a whistle and a timeout called by Mansfield Senior. They were going to get out of time there. We'll take a break. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
A one-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
And 10 after the disaster there by the Arrows. Reese rolls left, pressured and rolled out, and throws it complete to Gross at the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. A nice pickup there as they move the chains down to the 11. 1st down and 10 coming up. And Bob, right before we went to break there, what a disastrous play with McFrederick back there in the shotgun. Christian Garish, meanwhile, just comes off the field looking a little dinged up with his right leg.
You got to think that was a fairly safe scenario. Landon McFrederick's going to be back in there at the quarterback, taking the shotgun snap, and then, disaster strikes. And then Reese hooks up with Gross for Gross's 5th catch of the night, 10-yarder, and first down.
First down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Mitchell to the right of Reese. Reese in the shotgun. Trips to the near side. Single far left. Good pressure coming from the Arrows. And he is wrapped up at the 20. Oh, the Arrows brought all kinds of heat. And wow. Braylon Hyder maybe the first man in. And Triton Schuster also in. Jacob Beverly. Just name off the whole 11, Steve Paramore. They're all in there, my friends. Second down coming up.
Big bunch of Arrows in the backfield. That's the first time they've gotten to Duke Reese. First sack of the night of the Tiger quarterback.
And in a prime position, second down and 18, back at the 19-yard line now for the Tigers. Arrows showing blitz again potentially here. Back to pass. They're bringing pressure. Throws it out on the left side. Caught back at the original line of scrimmage. I think it's Gross again. Nope. I'll take that back. Miles Bradley grabs it. Nice pickup back to maybe the original line. Right around the 11. Third down and long coming up.
100 yards receiving tonight for Miles Bradley. 7 catches, even on the century mark in yardage.
Mitchell back there with Reese. Gross in the, well, over now to the near side with Bradley. Both Bradleys, rather. And the shotgun back to pass. Reese pressure coming right up the middle. Throws it over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Amar Davis. Wow. The Arrows are just bringing guys. They're bringing heat each time from a different spot. That was Jaden Jones there.
He got the football out to Davis, and it's a ball Davis should have caught. Couldn't come up with it. Drops it incomplete. Brings up fourth down and 11. So Tigers are down to fourth down again.
Big play here for the Tigers. Fourth down, 11 at the 12-yard line. Got to basically go to the end zone. They need to get to the 1 to get the first down. 5:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Mitchell to the right of Reese. Reese and the Tigers get the Arrows to jump on the hard count. That'll make it a little easier with 5 more yards coming. I think it was Triton Schuster, the guilty party. And the Arrows give up 5 yards. It'll be fourth down and 6. Well, they called it on Jaden Jones. I'm not sure if that was the right number or not.
Arrows had 2 penalties at halftime. They've got 6 penalties in the second half.
Is that bad?
That's not going to make Coach happy.
Yeah, that's bad. 35-14, 5:16 to go in the fourth at Community Stadium. The Arrows and Tigers in a playoff showdown. Winner gets to play the winner of Norwalk and Copley next week. Shotgun Reese. Got it, looking to pass over the middle. Got a man, overshoots. Davis incomplete. He had him open and he just overshot him. So the freshman quarterback, maybe a little adrenaline got to him there. That'll turn it over on downs. The Arrows will take over first and 10 inside their own 10-yard line.
17 of 35 for 222 yards for Duke Reese and a couple of touchdowns. He's thrown an interception. That's a lot to ask from a freshman, and he's performed, fairly admirably. A little less than a 50% completion rate tonight. Only sacked 1 time. He's a quarterback that's got some potential for sure.
Declan Rohr back in there, quarterback. After the last one, I'm not surprised.
I think that might be a good idea.
Well, I understand, and I actually applaud Coach for trying to get him out and the guys out and getting McFrederick some time. Shotgun, handoff, run right up the middle, short gain for the Arrows. Caden spots the ball carrier up to about the 8-yard line, maybe a gain of 1 or so. And the Arrows now under 5 minutes away from advancing to another home game next week here in the playoffs.
The friendly confines of Community Stadium. Looks like we'll be right back here. And either the Norwalk Truckers or number 10 seed Copley.
The Indians.
The Indians will be the guests.
And the shotgun is Rohr. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the near. Single back, man in motion is Jones. Running that play clock down, snap is bad. Ball's loose, and there's going to be a safety. Rohr grabs it, and he's immediately wrapped up in the end zone, and oh my. That is not great, Bob. 4:24 to go, 35-16.
I'm trying to wrap my head around what we've seen on the last 2 Ashland possessions.
Yikes. I don't know if the ball's getting a little slippery or what with it getting later into the evening and the dew. But either way, that's not a good way to end this game if you're able to hold on, which they should. 35-16, but the Arrows will have to kick it away, and now you put the ball potentially into the hands of the very dangerous returners for this Mansfield Senior squad. So the Tigers will have a chance to pull back to within a 2-score game if they can get something going quickly.
35-16, and down in the shadow of their own goal line on consecutive possessions, they're unable to execute out of shotgun. So that's a surprising development. I guess it could have been a worse outcome. It only resulted in giving up 2 points, but now you've got to either punt or kick the football away. Then you're going to do it from a spot on the field that's going to give the Tigers pretty good field position.
4:24 to go. Arrows trying to finish this one out, and it's never easy. It's just like baseball. The last 3 outs are always the hardest outs. Well, the last 5-6 minutes of a football game are always the hardest ones if the game is even remotely within reach.
Yeah, it's likely that the Tigers will have the football inside Ashland territory because they'll either punt or kick it from their own 20.
Spots out there. Roop is out there. We'll see who actually kicks this one away at the 20-yard line, and they're going to be kicking it off. Avion Gross is in there deep at his own 30. I don't know if they'll kick it to him or if they'll try to kick it away from him. Well, it's going to be Spots kicking it away. I think it's Davis out there to the near side. And Avion Gross. Here comes Spots, and he boots it deep. And Davis grabs it at the 31 to the 35. Now out near midfield, 35, 40, 45, and brought down at the 46-yard line. So the Arrows with decent coverage there. 15-yard return for the Tigers. Ethan Truax in on the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line, and game's not over yet, so don't go anywhere. 4:16 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Still a bit of hope for the Tigers, but they have to score quick.
Well, we talked earlier about him throwing that back shoulder throw in warm-ups. We haven't seen him try that except once, maybe early on in this ballgame, and it was unsuccessful. So Reese, the freshman quarterback, in there with a tough task. Try to bring his squad back from a big deficit. Back to pass, looking. Here comes pressure, throws it over the middle, off the hands, and caught, I think, if he held on. Darnell Hawkins pulls it in, back near around the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain, short gain. 2nd down. See where they place the ball. Well, back to the line. Caden Schmitz was in on the pressure. 2nd down, 10, 46, or the breakup rather. 4:09 to go in the 4th. Arrows and Tigers going at it here tonight at Community Stadium in a playoff game. Shotgun snap to Reese. He's forced out of the pocket to the left. He's going to tuck it. No, he's going to throw it downfield. Caught at the 40, inside the 30, and now down near the 20 are the Tigers. And just like that, Keontae Bradley and the Tigers on the move. Under 4 minutes to go. Clock stops there at the 21-yard line. And a chance maybe to put some more points on the board. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage come the Tigers. 1st and 10 at the 21. 3:52 to go. Tigers with 2 timeouts remaining. Arrows with 1. Tigers trying to come back from a huge deficit. The Arrows haven't helped themselves out here in the last few minutes. Reese in the shotgun, calling for it multiple times. Now he's looking. He's going to throw it up in the corner. And he's got a man in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Avion Gross maybe, or is it Bradley? It's Bradley. Miles Bradley. Touchdown. And just like that, it's 35-22. So the Arrows, who were up with what seemed like a pretty steady lead, Bob, have slowly but surely given away points here to the Tigers. Wow. So if you're just tuning back in, the Arrows were up big, and now all of a sudden it's 35-22 with 3:33 to go, and folks are getting a little nervous out here in the stands.
280 yards and 3 touchdowns from Duke Reese, and he can put that football on a dime. He found Miles Bradley in the little tiny window that it took.
Going for 2. Reese, play action, rolls out, throws it away in the end zone, intended for Miles Bradley. So we'll take a quick break. You're listening to Arrow Football on iHeartRadio.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Bob Miller here bringing you all the action. Arrows and Tigers in a game that has gotten markedly closer in the last 4 minutes. It's now 35-22 Arrows, Bob. And they're trying to finish this one out. Looks like probably an onside kick coming here from Sean Putt here at the 40-yard line. 3:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Arrows hands team all up, one man deep. Here comes the kick by Putt. He kicks it, and it's a nice little onside kick. The Arrows jump up, and who has it inside the 50? Somebody touched it around the 49-yard line, and I think the Arrows came up and got it.
Ashland's going to retain possession. Hard to see. Looked like Mansfield Senior may have jumped in there when the ball came loose, but Ashland did recover it, and now they just need to keep possession and eliminate the mistakes that we've seen the last two possessions. Should be able to close this out, at least force Mansfield Senior to get into their timeouts.
They've only got two of them left.
2 timeouts remaining for the Tigers.
Really, if you can get a first down here, the ball game's over. Is about it. 15 on the play clock. Arrows are going to have to hurry back out there. That play clock's running, and they're not even out on the field yet. 8 on the play clock. What is going on here? 3:31 to go. 35-22. They better snap it. 3, 2. There's the snap. The give to the handoff, and it's Spots around the right side, and he's inside Tiger territory down to the 43-yard line. Maybe the 44. Boy, the Arrows, you're not running the game clock there, but they ran that play clock down to just as far as they could.
11th carry of the night for Caden Spots. He's got 28 yards. If you're wondering about Ethan Hartley, and you weren't with us in the first half and into the early stages of the third quarter, 9 carries for Ethan for 40 yards. He was effective as a receiver tonight, 5 receptions, 134 yards, and a touchdown for Hartley.
And a shotgun is roar, 2:49 and counting. Man in motion coming over his Spots. Going to give it to Spots, and Spots goes to the right side, breaks the line of scrimmage at the 40. First down, Arrows at the 35-yard line. Well, Spots comes up big there, and the Arrows might have just punched their ticket to next week.
First down, number 9 on the night for the Arrows, and now they indeed can slow things down and should be able to run this one out. Caden Spots has been impressive as a runner in the second half. Not a big kid, but he runs powerfully, and he's a downhill runner that's got some speed, and he's got the ability to change direction on a dime.
Well, this definitely bodes well for next week in case Hartley either can't go or you're trying to split some of the duties or he gets dinged up again. And now he's got a little more experience. First down and 10 at the 35. Give us to Spots. Makes a couple guys miss and stretches forward near the 33 for a couple of yards. 2 minutes to go here in the ball game. Under 2 minutes now. Second down coming up for the Arrows. And looks like Chokey Bradley's just going to let the clock run. He's got 2 timeouts left. We'll see if he calls one after this play. And we'll be back. If this ends the way it's looking, we'll be back next Friday night here at 6:30 for the pregame with me and Bob. Roar in the shotgun. Keeper, play action, and he is hit hard at the 40. We'll make it the 36. And now we've got a timeout by Chokey Bradley and the Tigers. We'll keep it here. 3rd down and 8. Coming up, maybe a little longer actually, for the Arrows. So not a beautiful finish to this game for Ashland, but it looks like they're going to hold on.
Looks like they should hold on, but Third down.
3rd and 12 coming
Yeah,
up.
I was going to say it's 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 12 as I look across the field. 3rd and 12 it is. But I don't think you run the risk of putting the football in the air here. You're going to go ahead and keep it on the ground and either force them to burn another timeout, which I'm sure they would do. And the likelihood of Ashland being able to move on to next week is pretty high.
1:29 to go here in the ball game. 3rd and 12 coming up out of the timeout for the Arrows. Hopefully everybody gets healthy this week.
Okay.
Bob, what do you got over there? See Adam handing you something.
Bill Belichick on non-fourth down punts in his career. 2008, 3rd and 3 in the fourth quarter, up 13-3 against the Bills. Won that game 13-0. In 2012, 3rd down and 10 against Denver. Won that game 45-10. 2013 against the Bills at 3:32 of the third. Punted on 3rd down and won that game 16-3.
Oh, no. Ball's loose on the snap. Spots comes up with it, and he is wrapped up back at the 42-yard line. Boy, the Arrows have just struggled with the snap here in the fourth quarter, and that's something they got to get cleaned up for next week.
No explanation for that. I don't know what the issue is.
Chase Blessing has been really good all year, too, as far as snapping the ball, so maybe he's just having an off night here late in the ball game. Hard to ever tell what's going on. Maybe he's dinged up. Either way, the Arrows are fortunate to come up with that one. 1:22 to go. The Tigers burn their final timeout, down 13, and the Arrows will either go for it here or punt it away. And, if you punt it, there's a lot of bad things that can happen as far as the snap and all those kinds of things, or a return. We'll see what they decide. Roop's going in there. He's had a good night, so they're going to punt it away.
Yeah, watch Isaac Roop drop one down inside the 5-yard line to finish off what's been a stellar night for him.
Hard to call a punter an MVP of a game, but it might be him tonight.
Four outstanding punts by Isaac Roop, and he's got a chance now to really knock one down deep. Let's see what he can get done here.
Standing at his own 44-yard line, and 2 deep returners. High snap, it's loose. He's got it, and he's in trouble. He's going to try to boot it away. Now he loses the ball. It's loose. Oh, no. The Tigers have it at the 45-yard line. Oh, my goodness. The Arrows struggle again on the snap, and Roop didn't even have a chance to boot that one away, and they cannot wrap it up with 1:13 to go. The Tigers are still in business.
I don't even know what the Ashland coaches are thinking on these last possessions by Ashland here in the fourth quarter. I mean, not only does it go to both quarterbacks, but it also translates to the punt team.
Wow. Well, the Arrows are 1:13 away from moving on to next week, but you just never know at this point.
Not finishing cleanly.
No. Duke Reese and the Tigers come out. It also gives some stuff on tape for people to look at. That's the other part. If you know the center's struggling with snaps, now you're coming at him. So 1:13, 35-22, Arrows on top. Duke Reese back in the shotgun, and the Tigers with the football and a chance to try to get within one score. At his own 50-yard line, they're going to have to do it in a hurry, a whistle, and dead ball, and a delay of game. Boy, they have been really quick tonight to set the play clock on these change of possessions.
Yeah, it seems really in the flow of things that we wouldn't expect the play clock to be down and expiring when it is. So I think you're right.
It's happened to both teams.
Yeah.
So it's an equal opportunity offender. Well, back at the 45. It's now 1st and 15. Reese standing at the 15. Back looking. Pressure coming from Schuster. He's going to throw it up deep. Metzger's there, and he's got it intercepted at the 17-yard line. And the Arrows come up with a big turnover to hopefully put this one on ice.
Second interception of the night thrown by Duke Reese, and he was airing it out down the near sideline, trying to throw the home run ball at about the 1-minute mark. Didn't come up with it, and Ashland's got their second interception of the night.
You can't blame them for trying that because they don't have any timeouts, and at that point you got to throw it up and try to score quick and then get the ball back. So Keontez Bradley, the intended receiver, Metzger looked like he was playing center field, came over and picked it off.
Yeah, nice job by Johnny Metzger down there. And let's see if this is where the game is finished.
We'll see if you go under center here. Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, you hate to laugh, but they have struggled the last couple possessions on taking care of the football on the snap. So The arrows don't often go under center as it is, but here you could go in the victory formation and just down it, I believe, twice, and you'll be pretty much good to go. 1:06 to go, 35-22. Arrows trying to wrap this one up, and they take a knee at the 15-yard line. They'll have to take one more snap. So Rohr takes the knee there, and the Arrows are going to escape this one, and that's definitely an escape here in the last few minutes. Wow. Well, you just never know. High school football, crazy things can happen every week. We're hoping to see some good football next Friday night. Winner of Copley and Norwalk comes here to take on the Arrows. The Arrows are going to move to 6-1 overall.
At last glance, Copley was up in that game, right?
I thought they were down 17-10 last I had seen, but I haven't looked in a while. And they take a knee, and that'll do it. Norwalk beats Copley 17-10. That's the final. We'll play Norwalk next week right here at Community Stadium. The Truckers are coming to town on Friday night as the Arrows hold on tonight. What a crazy end to this football game, and the Arrows are able to escape victorious here at Community Stadium, 35-22, and advance in the playoffs. We'll be back to wrap this one up right after this final break here on Fox Sports Radio. Sorry.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We deploy our investigators to preserve evidence. We have the courtroom experience to show the insurance companies that we mean business. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt. Contact us at besmartlegal.com.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community. I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
One-stop destination with state-of-the-art facilities, our eye care professionals and surgeons are right here in Mansfield with comprehensive treatment for your eyes. Ohio Eye's expertise encompasses the entire range of visual eye diseases with emphasis on LASIK, cataract surgery with laser vision correction, glaucoma, macular degeneration, corneal transplant, and diabetic eye disease. The name you know, the quality you can see. Ohio Eye.
Senior Tigers here in a wild one, at least a wild finish. The Arrows coming up big with the playoff victory, and any way you can get out of a playoff game with the W, you survive and advance, just like Coach Cedar said in the pregame. It doesn't matter what the score is as long as you're more than 1 point ahead, or at least 1 point ahead. That's all that matters, and the Arrows will move on to play next week here against Norwalk. The Truckers take down Copley. The Indians fall tonight 17-10, and the Arrows will take on the Truckers Friday night. We'll have that game for you here, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock. I almost said tip. That shows you how much basketball I've covered over the years, but 7 o'clock kickoff, and we'll be happy to have that one for you next week. Brandon Wells and Bob Miller here tonight in the postgame. Bob, you got the numbers ready for everybody?
Let's take a look at the numbers. And there wasn't a whole lot of offense tonight, but the offense that there was, in terms of time of possession, Mansfield Senior, 58 plays from scrimmage tonight. The Ashland Arrows, 53 plays from scrimmage. First down, advantage Senior High, 12-9. And in terms of rushing yards on the night, rushing yards for Mansfield Senior, 26, and passing yards for the Tigers, 280. Total yardage for the night, 306. For the Ashland Arrows, 53 rushing yards, 210 through the air, for a total of 263. Looking at the penalty situation, 8 penalties committed by the Arrows for 75 yards, 4 penalties committed by the Tigers for 30 yards. And turnover situation tonight, Ashland turns it over 3 times, and Mansfield Senior turns it over twice. Quick look at some individual numbers tonight for Mansfield Senior. Their leading rusher in the ball game was Dak Mitchell with 9 carries for 18 yards. Offensively, it was what Duke Reese could do as a thrower, and he was 20 of 37 for 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. 2 touchdowns for Miles Bradley. Miles with 8 catches for 121 yards tonight. Avion Gross with 5 catches for 56 yards, and the other touchdown for the Tigers. Individual numbers for Ashland. Leading rusher in the ball game tonight, 9 carries, 40 yards for Ethan Hartley. Caden Spots in the second half carried the ball 13 times for 39 yards. Declan Rohr had a rushing touchdown tonight for the Arrows, and through the air, Rohr was 14 of 21, 210 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Ethan Hartley with 2 touchdown receptions, 5 catches, 134 yards for Hartley. 2 touchdowns also for Landon McFrederick, who had 3 catches on the night for 43 yards, and a big night receiving for Jaden Jones. Though he was held out of the end zone, he had 5 catches for 59 yards. And the Arrows advance to week number 9 with the 35-22 win over the visiting Tigers.
Arrows with the big win move on to play Norwalk here next week. We'd like to invite those watching on the OH Report to enjoy their post-game coverage, including an exclusive interview with the 419 Barbershop Player of the Game. That'll be Ethan Hartley. Tom Nesbitt and my man Jason Miller helping out on the spotting since Tony Van Dyne again.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Reinhardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Reinhardt.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Welcome back here to Community Stadium. Kurt Pinkley here with our post-game interview. And it is brought to you by the 419 Barbershop. Then our player of the game here is Ethan Hartley. Ethan, how you doing tonight?
Great, how are you?
Doing great. Just want to get your mindset about tonight's game. You guys did a great job of playing your game and playing it to the way you guys want to get done. Talk a little bit about your mindset coming into tonight's game.
Coming in, we just knew we had to be confident in everything that we're doing, and we knew that we had to play every snap, play by play, win the snap, win the quarter, win the game pretty much. So that's what we're looking at. That's great. Talk a little bit about your touchdown catch there tonight. It was a great play. Coach has put me in great opportunities to make plays, and I really appreciate it. So that's great. And you guys are coming in next week. Going to be playing against Norwalk. You guys have any thoughts about them so far? Not yet. We'll probably celebrate tonight and get back right to it tomorrow. All right. Sounds great, Ethan. Thank you for your time tonight. And once again, you are the 419 Barbershop player of the game. We'll be giving you a T-shirt, and that'll be given to you here after we get done with you. But thank you so much, sir. And hope to see you again next week with another W. Thank you. All right. Sounds good. Once again, the final here at Ashland's Community Stadium would be Ashland 35 and Mansfield 22. Just a little bit of a recap on the stats for tonight. We had Ashland there with 53 rushing yards to Mansfield's 26. Passing yards for Ashland 210 to Mansfield's 280. Total yardage 263 to 306. And ultimately, there was not too many penalties in the game here, but we did have 8 for Ashland and 4 for Mansfield Senior with 75 yardage and 30 yards respectively. 3 turnovers there for Ashland and 2 there for Mansfield. Once again, we'd love to thank you for joining us here on Facebook and YouTube Live. And just want to thank our staff here at Ashland. And once again, the radio folks there at iHeartRadio for being a part of our broadcast tonight. We'd like to thank our camera operators Nick Jacobs, Mason Neese, and Ramus Uzkaris. Thank you very much, Ramus, in my ear there. And our show tonight, directed and produced by Adam Thompson, assisted directed by myself, Kurt Pinkley. Once again, thanks again to iHeartRadio and to Ashland High School for hosting us here at Community Stadium. Once again, the final, Ashland 35, Mansfield Senior 22. Thanks again for joining us, folks, and we hope you have a great night. Take care.